We are live and we're back with the panel for UFC 324. As always, I'm here with my co-host Tyler 138 MMA, and today we're joined by our guy JB. Going to be just the three of us. JB with a nice setup now because he's recently been attacked by a hawk. Just got done telling us that story, and yeah, we're going to get right into it. If you tuned into my last show on Tuesday, thanks for tuning in again. If this is your first time watching me this week, let's get it this year, 2026. Tyler, how are you feeling about this card?
I hate it. I think the card's gonna be great, but like, dude, I'm on too many underdogs, and I can already see it now that people are gonna be like, "Man, you suck again this year because you're gonna miss like half the damn picks and you suck." And like, I'm on too many underdogs on a card that everybody else is saying that there's no good underdogs, and I'm like, why? I feel way better about next week's card, but this one, who knows? I'm probably gonna get like 5, 6, 7 picks wrong, so we'll see.
Picks don't matter, bro. It's the bets.
Yeah, but that's what people say. But the thing is, and I will say this time and time again, more people watch my YouTube video where I give my picks for the fights than pay to see the bets that I post. So they'll like 10, 15, 20 people paying to see my bets might be like, "Oh, dude, good. Even though you picked horrible, you still you cashed and you got profit. Great." But the couple thousand people that are going to watch my YouTube video and are going to be like, "Oh, dude, you suck because you picked all these people wrong." It's the public perception is important. So even though like in the immediate turnaround, the bankroll is going to be better if you hit the bets, the long-term perception of the channel and long-term growth, your picks do matter. And anybody that says that
they don't, bro. There's so many popular channels. I'm not going to list names, but their picks are trash. And they have so many views. You listen to their breakdowns, they're like, "Oh, yeah, this guy's going to win because he's more jacked and he has 4 knockouts in a row." Like, it does not matter, bro. The casual fans that you're talking about don't give a crap if you're winning or losing.
That's fair. Should I just start picking people based on like what, like, oh, I like this one better?
Yeah, just go by vibes, bro.
Dude, I might like, we'll see how this year starts out, but there's a chance I might just say, screw it, let's go vibes. Like, we're gonna like, I like this guy better, we're rooting for this guy, or I like her better, we're rooting for her.
It works for a lot of people, dude.
We might do it. We might do vibes. Change it from like 138 MMA to 138 vibes.
There we go.
Well, not 138 vibes, bro.
You're gonna have to start smoking.
Yeah, I can't do that. Can't do that.
But all right, JB, how are you feeling about the card, bro?
That's my thing, bro. You can't do that. You can't.
I can't say JB's thing.
True.
Nothing changed. New year, new setup, baby. The pack is back. You already know what time it is.
Let's go.
My boy Kiwi in the chat. Sure, all. That's what's good. And I ain't here. I don't care what the people think about me, bro. I don't give a flying F. My brand is just smoke, and we trying to make some money. That's it. And you know, my boys 138, my boys Couch Warrior, some of the sharpest in the game. My boy Glenn in the comments. Steven Picks on IG. I'm feeling the fucking vibes, baby. We are so back, bro. I've been itching for some damn UFC fights. I know you guys have. And the last 2 times I came on with my boy Mike and my boy 138, we absolutely crushed it. So I'm planning to do the same thing again this time. We called the Chris Duncan Anaconda 50-1 on this show. I know I called it on Parlay Madness, but if you watch this show first, I said he was live to get the Anaconda. So we're going to do that maybe again this week. And whatever crazy bets we got, I know we're going to cook up some shit here. So let's go.
Word. Also, real quick, before we go any further, Kiwi Brew, is it just me or did he like vanish from the chats for like the last part of last year? Kiwi, where have you been? I feel like I hadn't seen you until just like this year again. Have you been gone? I haven't seen him in any of the chats. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm I don't know. That Kiwi logo stands out. I feel like I just hadn't seen it. Maybe I have to check. Maybe I'm going crazy, but anyway, it's good to see you back anyway. That's all I'm saying.
Why is Tapology making me agree to new terms? I don't like to agree to terms before I can read them.
Ooh, okay.
The lawyer isn't going to agree to those without reading them. You better read those seriously. I will.
Yeah, but I need to use the website.
Ooh, you might have to switch to share, dog.
I honestly, I really wanted to. I was going to when they did the whole Michael Morales debacle because that was the most forced stupidity I've ever seen in my entire life. And then they fixed it, and I was like, thank God, because I really don't like SureDog. I'll be honest. I just don't like their interface. All right.
Yeah, their visuals aren't as good for sure.
I don't see anything too bad on here, and there's nothing about not being allowed to use an ad blocker. So
as long as you don't turn it the human Sentai pad. If you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
From South Park. Never agree to the terms and conditions. You didn't read the terms and conditions, bro?
I honestly might have just signed my life away. It's okay. It is what it is. Good game, Topology. All right. I have it open. All right. Let's do this. And I was going to say, I'm glad you brought the energy, JB, because like I was telling the guys before we went live, I spent about 3.5 hours in a car and I was very cranky, but we're getting back into it. We're getting back into
it. We get the vibes back. Dude, after JB's story about the hawk, like how can you even be upset anymore?
That helped out a little bit. And then once I find a fighter to rant about, then I'll be good. But all right, let's start it off. First fight of the night. We've got Ty Miller versus Adam Fugit. Tyler, what you got here?
Great. This is one of the few fights on the card that I do feel pretty good in the favorite. I feel like Ty Miller's got this one in the bag. I think his style is very, very good. He's a good come forward guy, builds everything off the jab, makes opponents work, and it just breaks them down. I think he's got the style to really put it on Adam here. Adam's not a bad fighter by any means. He's gotten the worst luck on like who he draws from the UFC, but here it is again. Like I think Ty Miller's the real deal. I think he's going to put it on him, and I think it's probably going to be a late stoppage.
All right. How about you, JB?
Yeah, I kind of agree with the same sentiments. I just don't know what Fugit really excels in. You know, if he maybe gets the fight to the ground, there could be some unknowns in Ty Miller's ground game. Fugit's got some subs on the record, so I think like his path would involve the wrestling. But I don't see him personally having sustained success versus Ty Miller. I think I know what the UFC is trying to do here. That doesn't mean it's going to work every time. I don't really see a way to bet it, though, personally, to be honest, because Ty Miller still is making his UFC debut here. Yeah. We've seen people shit the bed. It's minus, 450 now? Like, there's no way I'm parlaying it up. I don't hate the late stoppage, bro, but who's to say Ty Miller couldn't finish him in the first round? Like, is it really impossible?
It's not impossible.
Or this fight goes to decision even. Like, I could see Fugit surviving, you know. Miller mainly a decision, like on if you look at his record, mainly decision. Not that I don't think he could finish, because I do like the late stoppage as just a pure read. But betting, I'm finding a way struggling on this fight, and I kind of just stopped researching it after looking at the odds. Said like maybe I'll get back into it. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page. This is the one fight that I haven't really paid a ton of attention to. I briefly looked at it before my show on Tuesday. I know them both pretty well, but I definitely need to go back and watch a little bit more of Ty Miller. But like realistically, he's the best grappler Ty Miller's fought to date. I mean, it's not saying much, but on paper at least he is, and I believe he probably is, and he probably gets a takedown or two. I do think he's going to. I just don't know how much he's going to do with it. I don't know that he's going to submit Ty Miller. He is 12 years older. He's 37 years old, and I don't really want to get in front of Ty Miller with Fugit, but we'll see. I'm going to look at this one a bit more. I'm just kind of saving it for last because I don't have a ton of interest.
Would you be interested in an over takedowns at the right number?
Yes. Talk to me, JB.
I might have to look.
Do you see a line?
I don't even see the line. Oh, Fugit versus. Okay, here we go. What are we under? Fight props?
It would be fighter props, I think. They might not have it yet.
Yeah, it's probably not up yet. But if they put those up, that is something I'm going to look at.
Would you say that Fugit is a better grappler than Eric Nolan?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nolan's probably a better. Nolan has a wrestling background.
Yeah, but I would say Nolan's probably better.
But it was high school. But like jiu-jitsu wise, like it's definitely Fugit.
Okay, yeah. But wrestling would be
the guy that fought Susakayev?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Eric Nolan's good, man.
He's got a
Susakayev fight was it was tough taking that on super short notice up a weight class. Come on.
It's funny. It turned out that Eric Nolan went to high school with my brother's fiance.
Oh wow, no way. That's crazy.
Really random.
World.
Yes,
Come
sir.
on the pod.
That would be honestly. I gotta try. I like Eric Nolan.
Yeah, dude. Dude's good.
Did he fight since then? What? I
No, he
feel
was
like
scheduled,
he
but he had
has
to
a
pull
fight
out.
booked, right?
No, he had to pull out.
Oh, okay. All right, let's move on. Next up, we've got Ricky Tercios versus Cameron Smotherman. I spent a lot of time on this one today. JB, what are you thinking?
Love it, man. Two hometown guys, right? Two guys I'm very familiar with. You know what I'm saying? So look, I got a gripe with Ricky Tercios. You know, he plays poker at the same spot as me. I said, "What up, Ricky?" You know, you get a little head nod. I thought he was gonna go into a whole spiel on, you know, the dragon is within you, brother. But nah, you know, he kind of just gave me the head nod. You know, everything cool. And I go to research this fight, and I'm on Instagram, and this motherfucker blocked me, bro. Ricky Tercios, that's not cool, bro. I don't know what I said. But that's not cool, brother. I thought we had a good rapport. I, you know, even want to go train with the dude one day. So I'm going to have to, if I see him back at the poker house, I'm going to say, Ricky, look, bro, I got love for you, bro. But why you had to block me, man? Why you had to do that, right?
Did you
So
ever take his money playing poker?
No, we haven't played at the same table
okay.
yet. We haven't played at the same table yet because I don't go that often. He's there like every time I go. So that's the next thing I was going to get into. Like, this guy's playing poker more than Antonio Tricoli. Nah, I'm just playing. I think, honestly, when I look at this fight, I see Cam Smotherman on the other side, another guy I'm familiar with. What do people try to do? He's got good boxing. He don't really throw kicks. He's just primarily boxing. What do people try and do? They try to go out there and take him down. So I look at Ricky Tercios. Does he have the path? You know, I think it's possible because I don't think Cam's takedown defense is good. Now, these other guys that he's going up against, he's given up the back primarily to get back to his feet every time. And they're not taking that like risk to go take the back because they're more wrestler style, like Ryan Coos, who took that fight on like 7 days notice, came in the opposing town. And I thought Coos won that fight. I bet Coos is an underdog there. So that just lets you know where I'm at with Cam Smotherman when he's at the chalk price tag. Do I think he's solid? Yeah. Like I bet the dude against Jake Hadley, it was a plus 500 price tag. I'm thinking if this fight stays on the feet, bro, I think Cam Smotherman could get it done. Hadley went out there, shit the bed, bro. So it's all about pricing at the end of the day for me. And I can't trust Cameron Smotherman at this price tag. Do I think he wins? Yeah, probably. I think he's just a better product at this point. I don't know where Ricky's at in his career. He's kind of noodly. He doesn't really have power. His best wins against Heastan. We haven't seen Heastan fight in a while. I think it's a solid win, though. Whereas Cam, you know, coming off back-to-back losses. But I think City a little bit of a better wrestler than Tercios, but I don't know if he's the same sub threat. I think Cam's got decent sub defense. He's been subbed once on the amateurs. I like maybe plus money in this fight, bro. I'm thinking fight doesn't go because I could see Cam knocking him out late if he can't get the wrestling going. It's like plus 195 on Bet Online. I don't hate that at all. Ricky Tercios is like plus 155. I thought at plus 195 that was a better number. You know, I don't know how itching I'm in to get. And sub at plus 750. I know he doesn't got one, but you go watch the Raul Rosas fight. You know this guy trains with Alex Morono, who's a high-level BJJ black belt, and so is Ricky. Ricky's been training a long time. So even if you're in camp with Diego Lopes, which Cam Smotherman is, it's going to take a long time to catch up to those improvements. So I do think Ricky could take him down. I do think he could get some grappling going, but I just don't know how long he could sustain it for, and I don't know what point he's at in his career. It's dog or pass for me, bro, in any direction. So I like Cam KO, Ricky sub, fight doesn't go, shit like that.
Yeah, I'm honestly on the similar page. I've been torn about which way I want to go, like whether I want to bet Ricky money line or if I want to go fight doesn't go. And I think I'm leaning towards fight doesn't go because one of my rules back from after 2024 ended was if I see a plus money under or fight doesn't go, I can name at least 2 or 3 ways that ends. Should probably play it. And I haven't always stuck to the rule. I'm scared of unders. I'm not the best at them, but I honestly think this is a pretty good one because the way I see it, I think Ricky could knock out Cam Smotherman. I don't think that Smotherman's chin is any good. It's not just the fights that he's getting knocked out. He's getting hurt a lot. He's getting hurt. I forget which fight it was. I think it was a Sid fight. He got hurt by a jab in the first round. Like, he's getting hurt. And I know Ricky doesn't have a lot of power, but he's got good kicks. And I don't see why he can't hurt him with a head kick, why he can't knock him out. And I also think that a sub's on the table. I think a club and sub is definitely on the table, kind of like a head kick, back take situation. Or I think he can grapple him. Now, the reason I'm kind of hesitant on the money line is because like, I don't think Tercios is that good of a wrestler. Like, he's all right, but his control is no good. And a lot of the time he's falling off the back too. Like, I think he's going to take Smotherman's back at some point, but I feel like he's not going to keep it. I feel like he's going to fall off, end up underneath. And I don't think Smotherman's going to do much with it, but it's not going to be a great optic. So stuff like that is kind of keeping me off. Also, I don't love kickers versus boxers. Like, I don't really love backing the kickers most of the time because I do feel like if it's a boxer, they can crowd the space. He's going to give Ricky problems, and I do think that's going to be the case. One thing that I found interesting, I do wonder how the clinch is going to work out. I kind of want to go back a little bit more and look at Smotherman's fight specifically to look for the clinch, because Ricky, he doesn't seem so strong, but you watch him in the clinch, like, he's not letting go, guys, and he's keeping control the entire time, and he does good work there too. And he was doing it against Sopaj, and I kind of felt like Sopaj would be stronger, and he wasn't. So I think Ricky could win the clinch. I think he has a lot of ways to win this fight. So I am still tempted on the money line, but it's the same reason why I'm also tempted on fight doesn't go. And at the same time, I think that Smotherman can knock out Ricky. I know Ricky's really durable, but he's also been hurt. He's been dropped lately. I believe Sopaj dropped him. And there was another one I don't remember off the top of my head.
Kevin Nativa died.
Yes, sir.
Dropped him bad.
Yeah, and he dropped him. And also, like, let's not forget, he got knocked out by Mana Martinez, and very similar kind of matchup. Also a pure boxer with fast hands, good boxing, good in the pocket. And that's kind of what got Ricky. So I think both guys can finish the other. I think that not a lot of people are looking at this fight. A lot of people are saying, like, you watch their breakdowns, they're just like, yeah, I don't care about this fight. I'm passing. I know a lot of people really like the over for a parlay piece, but I think the sneaky way to play this fight doesn't go, or you play the Ricky money line, and jury's still out for which one I'm going to pick out of those two. But how about you, Tyler?
I'm surprised that either of you guys have given a chance to Tercios, because not many people are. I'm on Tercios. I think he gets it done. He's a far better grappler. Smotherman has a severe aversion to grappling. He just doesn't want to do it. He hates grappling. He will do whatever he can to not grapple. And when he gets to the ground, he doesn't look that good. He works back to his feet immediately if he gets the chance. But once you get past that initial get back up, he struggles. Tercios consistently shoots takedowns. Whether he gets them or not, it's one thing, but like he's putting up takedown numbers for the most part in his fights. He's also putting up better volume than a guy like Smotherman. You know, Tercios is going to go out there and probably land over 100 strikes in most fights, especially if they go the distance. So even if he doesn't have power, like, the dude's doing something. Smotherman starts slow. People were talking about how, Tercios, he's losing to these guys or whatever. Smotherman got ran through by Gregorio, who's not UFC level at all. So it's like you can't say, Tercios has been losing to these guys when on the other side it's the same way. Neither guy has really any really good wins.
Mando was beating him up too in their fight before he got knocked out.
Yep. The He-Stand win is a robbery, in my opinion. He-Stand won that fight clearly, hands down. I don't know how the judges gave it to Tercios. I know he was all the hotness coming off the Ultimate Fighter, and I think that's why, actually. But realistically, He-Stand won that fight, and it was a horrible decision. Anyway, Tercios, though, I think he's going to put out way more volume, and I think he's going to be the guy with the grappling upside. And outside of a knockout, I'm not really. I mean, I guess you could win rounds by just dropping him every round, but like, I feel like Smotherman is close to a knockout or bust. So give me Tercios as an underdog. And I know I'm probably going to look stupid over this because almost everybody else is on Smotherman, but there we go.
I don't think it's stupid at all. I think this
cares,
fight's really
bro.
cool.
Like, I'd rather look stupid picking the underdog than me picking the minus 400 favorite, and they lose anyway, which happens all the time. So, like,
well,
you're gonna
we'll
look
see when I
stupid
pick the rest of the underdogs on this card, huh?
All right, I think we can move on. And I kind of want to change my official pick to Ricky too on Tapology.
Let's go, brother.
I'm gonna just do that. Screw it.
He's got the grappling upside for sure. Smotherman's grappling just isn't good.
I also want to say, like, the Ricky KO numbers are insane. His KO straight is like plus 1,000 or plus 1,100. If Gregorio can do it, why can't Ricky?
Yeah. I mean, he could. I think he's more likely going to be selling out for the takedowns.
Yeah,
Club and sub.
Gregorio is way harder. I think a harder hitter than Ricky.
Yeah.
And like, I think
worse
Ricky
fighter, harder hitter.
I just like the fight doesn't go, like, now that we're like chatting about it out loud, because it's just like a lot more options I get than, if Ricky just goes out there, can't get the takedown, he just looks lost.
My problem with spots like this is it's like I end up playing one or the other, right? Now, let's say I play fight doesn't go, and then Ricky's gonna win a greasy decision, and I'm gonna be like, God damn it. Or I'll play Ricky, and then Smotherman's gonna knock him out, and I'm gonna be like, it's a tough game we play.
It's gambling,
You
bro.
can always put half of your stake on both, and then either way, if Ricky gets the sub,
maybe,
then
yeah.
Not a bad idea. We'll see how I end up playing it. I would have liked a slightly better line on Ricky, like you said. I didn't even see that it went down to plus 150-ish everywhere. All right.
People are seeing the same thing we are, brother.
Yes, sir. All right, let's move on. Next up, we've got Josh Hokett versus Denzel Freeman. I'll start us off. I spent way more time on this fight than I expected to. I went into it thinking Hokett parlay piece just because Freeman, terrible performance last time. Not even it was a bad look. I didn't like it. Was annoyed by it. So I went into it thinking Hokett by doing more. And I still think that's what's going to happen. I think Hokett's going to win by doing more. But I don't think that you can bet him at this number. I don't. And there's a few reasons. Like, first off, I don't know how comfortable he is standing, but so far from what I see, I mean, he was getting wobbled by leg kicks in his last fight. Yeah, he got a knockout. That was nice, but we didn't know anything about Jimenez. He's never faced any difficulties, and turns out he can't handle a punch. He got hit. It wasn't the cleanest strike ever, but it still put him away. Denzel Freeman, to me, seems very durable. He hasn't fought super crazy heavy hitters, but he has, honestly. Like, Steve Asplund hits. He hits hard. He fought him, finished him. And I just think he's durable, so I don't think Hokett's going to knock him out early, right? And I don't like Hokett striking overall. And I'm not a fan of Freeman striking either, but he's got better fundamentals, if you ask me. I think he's got a good jab. He has a good 1-2 down the pipe, and that might be enough if he can just keep it on the feet. And he's got solid kicks, too. He'll go to the head with the head kicks. He's not the most mobile guy in the world, but they're pretty good. And if he mixes in leg kicks, that would be a great weapon. And then when you look at the wrestling, like, both guys have wrestling backgrounds. They're different, yes. You have Greco versus literally folk style.
Folk style.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because he probably is counting like more like high school wrestling. He freestyles, we shift to later. So,
isn't college also freestyle, folk style?
I don't know. I never went to college for wrestling or anything.
I wrestled only in high school.
I never went to college.
I'm pretty sure, but either way, regardless,
yeah, freestyle's the Olympic style.
Yeah, Hokett's going to be shooting for legs, singles, doubles. Freeman, he's more of a throw toss kind of guy. And yeah, like in that kind of matchup, I do think Hokett could get some takedowns, but Freeman's get-ups look really good to me, like from what I can tell. And he hasn't fought a wrestler like Hokett yet, but he did fight a much bigger grappler in what's dude's name? Brazilian fella that he fought. Kuna.
The last fight?
Kuna. Like, when he got taken down there, he popped right back up. He did all of the right things. So I think his get-ups are good. So I think Hokett will get him down, but I don't think Hokett's control is good. I think that in the Guillermo Uriel fight, we saw that. I don't think he's going to keep Freeman down. I think Freeman's going to continue to get back up. I'm not sold on either of their cardios. I hear a lot of talk about Hokett's cardio. I get it to an extent, but, like, not really. Like, he has been to the third round, his very first fight, and he didn't. He got the win. He got the finish late. And with Freeman, like, he seems to slow down too when I'm watching him, especially when he's being pushed in any kind of capacity. He does seem to slow down. So I'm not sold on his cardio either. I think that in the first round, Hokett's going to come out hot, maybe get a takedown or two. Freeman will pop up back up. He's going to land the better shots. They're both going to get very, very tired, and we're going to get another sloppy heavyweight back and forth. I think Hokett ends up winning just because he does more. I think he's going to just spam more volume and win that way. But the way I would target this fight is fight goes. I think fight goes up plus money is solid. I don't think a finish is super likely. Maybe Hokett sparks him early, but from what I can tell so far, it doesn't look like Freeman's chinny or anything like that, and I think he's going to be okay. So that's what I like. But as a pick, like, I'll go Hokett slight lean. I just don't think you can bet this line. How about you, Tyler?
Yeah.
Oh, and my bad, Tyler. Sorry. One more thing. I didn't want to talk about that. Freeman is weighing in 25 to 30 pounds more than Hokett. And I know that a lot of the time that doesn't matter, but when you have wrestler versus wrestler, like, that's going to matter. That's 100% going to matter. And that's going to be a lot of weight. And I do think it's going to make a difference, and it's going to make Hokett's life a lot harder. Just wanted to say that. Sorry, Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah, don't worry. I was going to mention that too. I get it. Especially because, like, Freeman's weight isn't just like jelly either. Like, he's a built individual, right? So, okay. I got all sorts of hate for this in the chat over on Johnny's stream when I brought this up, but I'm gonna bring it up again. And I'm gonna preface it by saying I'm picking Hokett to win the fight. But here's the thing. People are giving Denzel Freeman a really tough time about winning essentially just like a
Hey,
clean
bro,
30-27.
but can you blame him in a way? Like, because like I know like there's one end of that, which you're gonna say, right? But then there's the other end because it did happen, right? Like it was a good fight, but it seemed a little like just tentative to me. Like he didn't have the like will to go out there and get it, like really get it. Like whereas Hackett on the other end, you can't say the same. Like he's trying to kill you, you know.
Okay, maybe, but hear me out on this one. Okay. That Freeman fight got added like what, 2 weeks before the card.
And it was in Qatar too, right?
Exactly. Freeman's an American. He had to fly clear across the world to go fight in Qatar on like 2 weeks' notice to make his UFC debut. And everybody's acting like this guy should go out there and perform like he's a world champion.
That's a good point.
Making his debut 2 weeks' notice in a foreign country that you got to fly like darn near 20 hours to get to. What was like 18 hours or something like that is a flight. And then, like, not to mention that, but like to make your debut, there's a whole bunch of other stuff you got to do that you don't have to do if you're already in the system. So like, yeah, I get it. It wasn't a great performance, but you got to cut the guy a little slack on that one. He still won a clear 30-27 in his UFC debut, which most people, you know, they struggle with debuts. So I get it. It wasn't the greatest look, but I'm willing to give him a little bit of grace here because I think the circumstances really impact his performance. I won't be surprised at all if he goes out there and wins. The Freeman that I saw on the regional scene, that guy is really good at eventually getting guys back up to the cage. And when he gets guys back up to the cage, the dude will unload with his hands. And that's about the only time he unloads. He never backed his opponent up to the cage in that fight in Qatar. It just didn't work out that way. It is what it is. That's the type of Freeman that you get when he backs you up to the cage. That's when he unloads. Until then, he's going to stay at space. He's going to point fight a little bit. He's going to pick his shots. He'll use his Greco-Roman wrestling a lot of times defensively. If he gets you up to the cage, he'll start working the takedowns. Freeman's very live in this one as an underdog. I've got too many underdogs anyway. So, like, yeah, but I was this close to taking Freeman. I'm taking Hackett because I think he's going to do more, much like Couch said. But I do think the over is probably the way to go. So that's me.
Yeah, I think over Freeman. I think one of those has got to be good.
Yep.
Think Freeman can finish him?
It's possible. It's a bit. Heavyweights after the first round are usually kind of not usually finishing very often.
We just don't know enough about Hackett yet. I feel like like he might be chinny. We have no idea.
Yeah, I think he could come out and definitely finish this fight early. I don't think it's impossible. I mean, he's been doing it left and right. I think like skill for skill, yeah, I definitely edge Freeman. Like probably a dog or pass money line, like you said. I just think will to win, hate in his heart. You know, that vitriol sometimes is that equalizer when it comes to the skill gap. So yeah, I like your guys' points. That's about like what I got on it too. Anyway, so yeah, not much on this one.
All right, let's
all the sediments.
Let's move on. We've got Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez. This is a tricky one. Tyler, why don't you start us off for this one?
Okay, so another one I got to preface a little bit. Alexander Hernandez is on a 4-fight winning streak, and I've picked against Alexander Hernandez in his last 4 fights. I might just not like Alexander Hernandez. That might just be a reality that I need to accept. To be fair, I thought he lost the Holloway fight. I thought there was a good argument he lost the Hubbard fight. There's no argument he lost the last 2 fights. He clearly won those fights.
You think?
Yeah. With that said, I'm on Michael Johnson here. And it's like a part of me thinks that like I'm witnessing my own biases here and can't talk myself out of them. So maybe there's that. So because of that, I'm not going to bet this fight in any way, shape, or form just because I might just be really an Alexander Hernandez hater. But at the same time, you look at Michael Johnson, and this is a guy who's also on a 4-fight win streak, who also could beat anybody in the division on any given day. But then he could also lose to anybody in the division on any given day. So Michael Johnson's, I mean, his record says enough. Was it like 24-19 or something like that? Like the dude can win against anybody or lose to anybody. He has wins over like Dustin Poirier, for example, but then he'll lose to anybody. Like literally just who knows, you know, he beat Zellhuber in his last one. The guy shouldn't have won that fight, but he did. So yeah, I'll take Johnson. And maybe it's just because I don't like Hernandez. So maybe we're getting the vibe picks going.
All right, there we go. 138 vibes. How about you, JB?
138 vibes.
No. I'm gonna go the opposite on this one. I do think Johnson could win the fight. Like he's got pretty clean boxing on the feet, southpaw stance, but Hernandez comes out. He does like switch stances very well. That's one thing that I did want to mention. He switches the stances very well. I think those low kicks, Johnson kind of fights in a wide stance. I think he could beat up the calf. I know he's been training with Gaethje, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that's something he picked up on Gaethje. Gaethje fought against Johnson before. I know it's like a way earlier version, but I don't know how much Johnson got left in the tank. I know he keeps doing it, but Zellhuber, bro, that was an odd one. It was a great win, don't get me wrong, but he was a big underdog in that fight against a guy that's like less experienced, that's fumbled the bag before. I know Hernandez has fumbled the bag before, but not against guys like Trey Ogden. You know, a lot of these guys that he fumbled the bag against as well was at 145 pounds. This one at 155 pounds. So I do think he's gotten a lot better since. You know, he's coming off of a couple big wins as well. Camp change could be a little, you know, scary. The Hubbard fight, was that at 155 though?
Yeah,
that one was at 155, and
there's a real argument Hubbard won that fight. So it was close.
That was
I think there's a better argument for the Hollowbell fight.
Yeah, Hollowbell definitely won that fight. Got blindly robbed. It was terrible. Hollowbell won that fight for sure.
Right. I think the grappling though could be there for this guy. I think the calf kicks. I think he has more weapons to win the fight. Wouldn't be surprised though if Johnson caught him on the chin, knocked him out. I was looking at the sub too for Hernandez. I don't think that's a terrible look. I haven't bet it yet because he doesn't have any UFC subs, but Johnson's pretty putrid on the ground. Yeah, he's definitely, bro. I mean, that's not even a question. Darren Elkins, you know, obviously Khabib, hella good.
No shame in that one.
Right. Moises' fight was like, what do you get him? What, an ankle lock, if I'm not mistaken?
Something like that.
How many ankle locks do you see in an MMA fight? I kind of like that. Like, that's a sneaky look that I like. Maybe another fight doesn't go, too. I remember watching, like, I bet Johnson at -150, I think it was, versus Alan Patrick, and I was clenching my cheeks on that one. So I think Alexander Hernandez probably gets it done.
There you go.
Yeah, for me, it's Alexander Hernandez too. I'm still deciding if I want to lay the money line or if I want to just play his knockout prop. It's probably going to be just a knockout prop. I swore off playing Hernandez at chalk after the Damon Jackson fight because, like,
that fight made me so happy.
That was such stupidity. That was such a winnable fight for him. It's so ridiculous. But, like, forgive and forget, you know? And it's a different matchup now, but it's also like, is this matchup that different than Kurt Hollowbell, except Michael Johnson has better takedown defense than Hollowbell does and probably better boxing, and he's faster than Kurt. So, like, if Kurt was able to give him problems on the feet just by throwing more, landing more, why can't Johnson do it? Like, he's been looking pretty good. You can't hate on it. I'd say that most of those wins haven't been the most impressive, but the Zellhuber one certainly was. You can say Zellhuber's fight IQ, whatever, but still, I mean, Michael Johnson looked a lot smaller, a lot older, and he came out there and he won. Very clearly won. It wasn't even arguable. So he still got it. He's still fast, which is ridiculous. He's 39 years old. He's still got the hand speed. Still one of the best boxers, I would say, at least in the 155 division, if not the UFC. He's a better striker, but I do think the age and the durability matters. I think Hernandez is just more durable right now, especially at 155. At 145, sure, he's also not the most durable guy ever, but even then, a lot of it was cardio problems. But now that he's not cutting, I do think that's an improvement. I think he's going to be healthier. He's going to be good. I think that he's a little bit more likely to knock out Johnson than Johnson is to knock him out. He's got the wrestling upside. So for me, I got to go with the younger guy. I got to go with Hernandez, but I don't know that I'm going to bet the money line. I might bet KO, though, because I don't hate the price. I saw like plus 290 on Bet Rivers. I think that's pretty fair. We can move on. ITD for Hernandez?
Yeah.
Let's see. Plus 225, plus 245. Might just do that then. But when was the last time he even went for a sub?
Versus Hollowbell, he went for an arm triangle. I think
he did do that.
Okay. There you go. If I bet it, I will not bet KO. I will bet ITD.
Bet.
But all right, let's move on. Next up, we've got Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. JB, you're up.
Oh, yeah, man. Johnson. I've been calling Michael Johnson Michael Jackson all week, bro. I gotta stop doing that. I didn't do it on this one, but I swear, like if I get 2 stone on Parlay Madness or something, I might start calling him Michael Jackson for real. And, you know, speaking of facts, Annie, are you okay? And speaking of the Annie, you know JB, your boy JB, he likes himself a nice Annie, right? You know, I think that Charles Johnson in this fight, I called it with Chris Duncan, could get the Anaconda choke finish. It's 50-1. I took 2 sprinkles on this fight. I'm going to give you guys one of them. The other one you can figure out maybe through the breakdown. Actually, you know what? Y'all support. I'm going to give them out both right now. I bet both of these on BetMGM. I'm taking the Anaconda choke at 50-1 and the Ninja choke at 100-1. Hear me out, bro. Alex Perez is a fucking mark to the sub. This guy has been... If you're talking about Michael Johnson being a mark to the sub, this guy, Alex Perez, is definitely a mark to the sub. Flyweight, we look at most of the finishes. They're via the submission. Charles Johnson, he's got those long limbs. I bet Alex Perez in the last fight. Like, look, from a money line standpoint, I'm not really arguing too much for Charles Johnson here, and I'll get into that in a second. When I bet Alex Perez in that last fight, that shit was so fucking frustrating, bro, because he's absolutely beating the fucking piss out of this dude. I'm like, yo, I'm about to cash my fucking bet easy. And this guy just goes and shoots himself into the dumbest fucking guillotine choke. And I'm not really a believer in Asu's this crazy submission artist, right? Because he submitted a couple guys. You know, Odie Osborne, who's a mark to the sub himself. I don't know, man. I think Perez, you know, coming back so quick after years of inactivity, it makes me question, like, if he, like, is truly about this. And you got energy on the other side. And he's been saying for years. So I watch his interviews. You know, I know he's gonna say. I watched the one with James Lynch. This is a good fight for me to get a submission. But he's been saying that for a while, and like everybody was on the same price for the sub, plus 490 or something like that, versus Suma Derji. I think it might have even been less than that. And it was Suma Derji that had the sub attempts. So yeah, you never know. Like he can get them submission attempts off though. He got a reverse triangle against Durden, I think it was. And you go back and watch the fight against Azat Maxim. He's attempting him, bro. He had a ninja choke, and everyone says that he could have finished it. I don't know. Because on the one end, you could have said Azat Maxim was going out, right? If I got you in a ninja choke and but you're putting pressure forward, and I let go and move around, you might fall just because you're off balance. So I don't know if he was really going to go out, but he might have been, bro. So in another world, he has a submission win there, and the reverse triangle against Durden was at the end of the bell. I'm not saying he's going to get a reverse triangle on him, but with those limbs, bro, you can turn that into something, you know? You could turn that into something. We've seen guys get that shit. Jorge Masvidal, I think, was one of them way back in the day. So it's possible. I think this guy's, super live. I didn't bet money line. I didn't bet anything. I just bet the Anaconda choke. You go back and watch one of his fights, and I gotta go and look up the guy's name. I'm so stoned. I would know this under normal circumstances. And it was way back. That's why. Not Moda. Carly Pangolin. And I know that's who is that guy, right? But he got the Anaconda choke there. He's gotten way better since. He's at Fusion XL, BJJ Gym. He's competing and winning in BJJ tournaments, which is something I look at for the sub props. I go and look at these guys' Instagrams. That's a little tip, right? If they're competing heavy in grappling tournaments, like Charles Radke, like Pat Sabatini, Talita Alencar, those are the people I might look toward the sub props, right? So, yeah, that's where I'm at with this fight. Alex Perez is fucking good, bro. He's got good striking. I don't get it, bro. It's just so inconsistent. How could I trust him? I think I got to go with Charles Johnson in this one, guys. I think he gets the win. Maybe a sub, hopefully, for us.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people who like Charles Johnson this week. I get it. I get it. Perez falls apart. Thank God I didn't bet him against Asu because I was going to, and then I didn't, and then I was going to lie bet him, and then I didn't, and I was so grateful that I did not because at first I was kicking myself. I was like, he's kicking Asu's ass, and then he just gets guillotined, and I was like, damn. But honestly, a plus 170, if that's what happens here, so be it. I don't think he should be plus 170. I think that's just flat out wrong. Yes, Charles Johnson is a better striker. Yes, Charles Johnson has better long-range weapons. Yes, Charles Johnson's kicks could be a problem. Sure. But, For me, I don't think the gap on the feet overall is that wide at all. I think Perez is a great boxer in his own right, and if he closes the distance, which I expect him to, I don't think he's going to struggle all that much at range. And his leg kicks, I think, are going to be money too. Now, Charles could switch stances. That's something he does. If he goes southpaw, that could kind of make it a little bit less effective. But I think Perez is going to do it anyways. And I do think it's going to be helpful in this fight. And then on top of the striking being close, who has the grappling upside? Yeah, sure. Charles can maybe hit one of those front chokes. That's a good look. Unfortunately, I can't bet those here in New York. But Perez has all the wrestling upside. He's a great wrestler. And I do think he's going to take Charles down. Charles does have his takedown defense isn't great. He pops back up quickly, sure. But if Perez just mixes it in here and there, just to add that on, while also competing in the striking, I think that's going to be enough. And against, like, Asu's a very good wrestler. He was out wrestling Asu. So for me, like, seeing that, I don't see why he can't out wrestle Charles if he needs to here. So for me, it's definitely dog or pass, and I'm actually picking Perez outright. If he loses, so be it. I'll never do it again, but one more ride. How about you, Tyler?
You won't be able to because he'll be out of the UFC.
True. He probably won't.
Maybe in the regionals. Maybe in PFL.
Nah, at that point, I'm done, bro. But how about you, Tyler?
So skill for skill, Alex Perez is elite, but he just can't win. He just can't buy a win. Like, the dude can't do it. He's 1-4 in his last 5 fights, and like he should have won a lot.
But against who, Tyler?
It doesn't matter. It's not the fact that it's like who he's losing to. It's that the way he's just like.
That was mostly a joke.
Giving it away. Yeah, I get you. He's just like giving away wins. It's like he's allergic to it. It's like the dude, I don't know what he does. Like he'll have the win in the bag and then just throw it away. I don't understand. So like, yeah, I gotta say Charles Johnson. I gotta say Charles Johnson by submission because like Perez is just gonna get himself submitted. Like you could put Perez in there against nobody and somehow he's going to end up in a sub. I don't get it. Like, I don't know how he does it. So I don't know. I'm going to take Johnson. I'm going to take him by sub. Perez, skill for skill, is one of the best fighters in the division, but he still just can't put it together for some reason. I don't know. I'm sure in the gym, the dude's an animal, and I'm sure he's absolutely like a menace to the guys that are competing with him in the gym. But once he gets in there, something messes up. I don't know what it is.
One other thing I wanted to add is Perez hasn't fought a purely striker in I don't know how many fights, many fights. It's been just grappler, and finally he has a guy who's mostly a striker who does threaten front chokes, sure, but he's mostly a striker, and I think that's going to benefit him also.
Good.
The one thing I wanted to ask though, you said plus 170. You got him at plus 170 because that line's way different now. Plus 145 for Perez. So
I'd have to pull out my handy dandy odds converter to say if I would still play that or not, but I see plus 154 on FanDuel, 55 on Bet Rivers. Like I don't think that's the worst thing. Like if I remember off the top of my head, I think plus 150 is what 40%. Like I think that's fine still. I don't think he should be 40%. I think this is a much closer fight. But we can move on. Next up, we've got Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas. I think I'm starting off this fight. Two guys I have lost money on plenty of times. When Modestas first made his UFC debut, I said that he's a future title contender, and boy was I wrong there. And then with Krylov, I love losing money on Krylov apparently, but this one's hard for me. Like I get all the red flags on Krylov. I 100% understand. He's chinny. He has not used his wrestling since the injury, since that long time away. 100% get it. That's why I was mostly like tempted to stay away, especially the Guskov fight. Because like Reyes, okay. Reyes has good takedown defense. Excuse me. Reyes has good takedown defense. So maybe Krylov didn't want to waste the energy. I don't know. Still a bad game plan, but I can sort of understand that. But everybody knows Guskov has no ground game, and he didn't even consider going for the takedown. So that's a big red flag.
He went for a heel hook when he was getting punched.
Doesn't count. So I get it. But on the other hand, it's like, yes, Krylov's chinny. So is Modestas. Modestas has actually been knocked out more in fewer fights. And Krylov does hit very hard. And Modestas is also a guy who likes clean fights. For the most part, that's how he wins. It's when he's able to maintain his distance. Like, yes, Arcara is a different situation. Yeah, he got the Paul Craig finish. Those are different fights. Like most of the time when Modestas is winning, it's a point fighting affair. And a lot of the times it's very close, way more close than you would like. Like skill for skill, I feel like Modestas is much better than Pauga, but he didn't deserve that win. He didn't win that fight. That was not a good look. The Prachnio fight, I had money on Modestas. Thank God he got the finish in the third round, because I would have lost my mind. Like on paper, he's so much better than Prachnio. Like, what was that? So for me, like, Modestas is also super inconsistent. He's also chinny. And don't get me wrong, I like the guy. I bet him at plus money. I like him as an underdog in many, many spots. But the big thing for me here is it's him off his back. Like, Modestas has good takedown defense. I don't think it's bad at all. But I also do think that Krylov's the best wrestler he's fought to date. So I think that the takedown defense won't be as effective. But the bigger thing is whenever he gets taken down, he just accepts full guard right away, wraps up those legs, and he sits there for at least a minute, up to 2 minutes, and he's just on his back. If he's doing that against Krylov, like, good luck. So for me, it really comes down to the fact that both guys can finish the other, but I think that Krylov has more ways he can finish Modestas. He has more ways he can win the fight. And with the wrestling upside, and yeah, he's also fought the better level of competition, and he's got a clear path. So for me, it's Krylov or pass, and I am going to pick Krylov. How about you, Tyler?
This is one of the fights that makes me hate this card. Like, I just don't want to make a prediction on this stupid fight because I don't think either guy has. Modestas is on a great run.
Dude. Sorry, Tyler. Sorry, bro. This makes no sense, bro. It makes no.
Those two countries are at war, brother.
They're literally at war, and he does not rep Ukraine. He reps Russia, and I am in fact Ukrainian, of Ukrainian descent. So it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, Krylov is from like Ukraine, but he's like jump ship. So
he's from one of the disputed regions where a lot of them do not represent Ukraine.
Right. So anyway, yeah, Modestas is on a run right now. Like, the dude's got a pretty good streak going right now. And that's kind of why I'm going to take him, because like Krylov is just he's fighting like a doofus, and he's going out there and just eating canvas immediately. But like, I don't know. I'm just like, if anybody comes at me afterwards and is like, I can't believe you picked Modestas against Krylov, and he's like, dude, just eat glass, man. Please eat glass. And you deserve everything that comes along with that. Because like,
do not eat glass, Tyler. Don't get me sued. Don't eat any glass.
Yeah, I have to make a pick because it's what we do on this whole YouTube prediction thing. So I'll take Modestas, and I'm gonna hate it, but we'll do it.
All right. How about you, JB?
I think Nikita should win this fight, bro. If he's like any, yeah. I don't like the one thing I don't like about him is he rushes in with his chin up, especially at close distance, and it's something you got to worry about now, coming off back-to-back KO losses. But he's taking some time off now. Modestas is not Ngannou, bro, so that's for sure. He can hit, crack, but I think some of these finishes, the Paul Craig one was an elbow at the end, and shout to him, but Paul Craig could be had in that area. Plays off his back, stays flat on his back. Got a good elbow win. I'll give it to him. But, going the distance with Pauga, a close fight, he's gone distance multiple times, even back to I think it was Chadwick fight. There was one, or it was Campbell. That one went to round 4 in a 3-round. That's a decision too. All those fights go into decision. So I don't think he's the more, like Dominic Reyes, Guskov, way, way more high level, dangerous finishers. So I think this is recency bias here, man. I got to go with Krylov as the side, dog or pass. Skill for skill, I see the grappling upside there. I see a lot that I like about him. I don't think, it's going to be one shot done here from Modestas. Maybe he gets him up against the cage and, he's able to throw up, a combo and put Krylov out. But I don't see it being like a one-hitter quitter. So in that case, like, I think Krylov's going to start to get his game off. I think he could hurt Modestas on the feet too. I know Modestas has shown a better product, but I think he could definitely hurt Modestas on the feet too, and then you get that grappling going. So, yeah, I like him here. I'm seeing some 9-1 sprinkles. I don't hate it, but the more I watch it and get into this, because I don't want to bet the KO at plus 250. If I'm going to bet a prop on Krylov, it's going to be the decision at 9-1, like Lynn said, or that submission prop. I'm seeing plus 550s, plus 600s. I don't think if he gets this fight to the ground, bro, I don't think Modestas is surviving. I really don't. Ozdemir is pretty solid. I think Modestas a few levels beneath that. I know he's training with Tom Aspinall, but Aspinall out right now. So who's he really getting the work in with? That's a question. I think Krylov's live here. I think Krylov's live for a sub. I'm gonna have to go with that. 12 submissions in the career, and you're giving me a plus, 550 against a guy who been submitted before. Mark on the ground, in my opinion. So yeah.
Does anybody know where Krylov is training now? Like, since
he's somewhere in Russia.
Yeah, but like, do we know? Like, is it like a legit gym, or is it kind of just like one of them situations?
I don't know if it's like a named gym or anything. I know I saw Kopylov there.
Okay, that's a good sign. All right, so he's at least training with people.
Kopylov, Musayev, like those are good dudes.
That's good. I wasn't sure if it was like a situation like where like Oleg Seychuk before he like went down to Brazil, while he was just training in his garage.
That's what Modestus is doing right now, bro.
Is
you
he?
knew that? Yeah. He's not training at Aspinall because Aspinall gym is shut down. This is what I heard. This is what James said, so don't quote me. I think he said that he's training in a garage, bro. He said it's a very nice garage, though.
I wasn't able to tell from his Instagram where he's training for Modestus. It does look like a garage.
Nice. There you go. I guess I didn't know his gym was shut down, so there you go. Maybe he's the garage guy.
But all right, let's move on. Next up, we've got Ateba Gautier versus Andre Pulayev. I think it's your turn, Tyler. You going with Pulayev? I feel like you might.
Absolutely not. No way. No. I was low on Pulayev when he was coming into the Contender Series. I picked him. I got it right. Everybody else, or not everybody else, a lot of people were on the other side. But even then, there's a lot I don't like about the guy. The one thing I'm concerned about, and I asked Johnny if he'd heard anything on Wednesday. BetOnline for a little bit took Ateba's line from minus 900 down to minus 650, and it stayed there for like a day. Does anybody have any idea why that dropped like that?
I would just assume that somebody put a really big bet down. I'm pretty sure BetOnline limits are up now. I can check that. But my assumption would be somebody put a fat bet on Pulayev. Either that or they just weren't getting any Ateba action and they wanted to balance it a little bit.
That's what Johnny said, is that they wanted to balance it some.
That's likely possible as well, because it immediately got bet down. It's back to 800 now.
I mean, it stayed for like a day almost. It seemed like it was a weird line. I don't know.
Well, because who's really dying to play Ateba at even minus 600? It's like,
I mean, at minus 600 that you play that, I think.
It's not a huge difference. Oh yeah, so limits are at 40K now on Ateba. So I would imagine somebody put something big down on Pulayev.
That's wild. Okay, well, I think Ateba gets it done pretty easy. Probably in the first round, probably knocks him out. Pulayev's all right, but it's about as far as it gets. Ateba's actually really good. I mean, Nick Klein gave Puliyev a really rough start of that fight. So yeah, there we go. I'm taking Ateba. I think probably first round knockout. And I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. I'm sure everybody else is on it.
Yes, sir. JB?
Yeah, I don't hate that either, Aaron Carr. I had written that down too with the sub. So, yeah, you could get both equity there. I don't hate that because Modestus could win a decision too, especially if Krylov fight a little timid. He got knocked out a couple times. I don't think it's impossible, bro. Split if you want to get crazy like my man Tim. Go for the split. Ateba's going to fucking kill this guy, bro. Yeah. He's going to back him up straight to the cage. Once he cuts it off, it's over, bro. Detonates his chin. And that's going to be the fight, bro. I don't really want to go crazy on it just because that's what I think. How does Puliyev win? Knock him out on the feet, maybe?
No.
He's not going to grapple him, I don't think, with any sustained success. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
I think Puliyev's a guy.
You got a question, JB?
Yeah.
So Puliyev went like 3-5 as an amateur before going pro and fighting a bunch of guys that are like, less than 5 fights. So like, I think he kind of got here based on like a record that's not exactly what it seems. That's my thought.
Fair enough.
He went 3-5 as an amateur and then thought it was a good idea to go pro on a 3-fight losing streak, which is insane.
He's been a work in progress.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this one. I mean, I think Puaev's getting knocked out. Probably the first round. Only way you can bet it is if you want to like kind of go for the round 2 for Ateba and just hope that Puaev is on his back foot. And he does like to do that. He does like to move away and kind of hope that he lasts. And then you're getting like I think plus 390 it was on Bet Rivers for round 2. It's pretty good if you want to take the risk. I don't really want to because it's just like if Ateba backs him in the corner, what does Puaev have to get out of that dangerous situation? Not really anything. So for me, that's all it is. Tower, you went on this one, right?
Yeah.
I'm going with the fucking Nicolas Cage. You know Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, National Treasure?
Gone in 60 seconds.
Oh,
this
gotcha.
Motherfucker on DraftKings. I'm gonna check and see what it is.
That's actually a good idea.
Gone in 60 seconds. It's over.
Do you think it's already out? Let me see.
That's what my man. Shout out my man Brasco. He calls it the Nicolas Cage play.
That's
gone
funny.
in 60 seconds. That's what's happening to fucking Puaev here. He's gonna get absolutely. You know you could bet the half round too if you're like really scared. Under half a round plus 240.
That's
Two
not
and a
bad.
half minutes. 2.5 minutes in the octagon with Ateba Gautier while everyone's betting the over. Absolutely
betting
not.
overs?
Oh yeah, I hear everyone. The round 2 is the way to play the fight.
No chance. Round 1 all day.
I'm going round 1, bro. That's where I'm at. Call me square. I think round 1, under half a round, and Nicolas Cage, this motherfucker is gone in 60 seconds. Book it. You heard it here first.
I always say if you got a square peg in a square hole, be a square.
Yes, sir. That was good, Tower. All right.
Thank you.
Moving on. We got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Deivson Figueiredo. Not a crazy line in that it's necessarily wrong, but just crazy to see Figgy as a plus 1,000 underdog. But JB, what do you like here?
Umar, I think gets his first finish in a very long time. And I know Figueiredo's, been solid. He had that big win last time. I picked him in that one. Montel, he didn't fight the fight that he needed to. Fought very timid there. Umar, I think, is going to do the opposite of that. I think he has a statement to make here. He can't just keep scraping by these decisions, having close moments. I even took the shot on Batista last time, just off of, he fights these close fights. I thought Batista was a lot more skilled, and it wound up having some close moments. But I think Umar runs through him probably here, maybe round 2. I think he gets the finish on Figgy, similar to the Moreno fight. I think he's the better striker. He could clip him on the feet. I just don't think he's got big power. I know he got the Barcelos knockout. That one was a bit odd in a way. I think it's the sub, bro. I'm going to take the sub for Umar. It's plus 190. And I'll put it in some long shot crazy ass parlay like I did the last time and maybe make it work.
I too like Umar sub. For me, it's I've been looking to fade Umar. I missed the boat with Marabo. It's too chicken. Then I thought about it with Batista. I didn't really do it, but I don't think I did it. I don't remember though. I don't think I did, but I'm definitely not doing it here. I think Umar's going to get a sub. That's kind of what I'm thinking. At first, I didn't really expect that, but then when I was watching, it's all right, Moreno, when he got the back, he was able to get it done. Umar's going to be taking him down. I'm 99.9% certain he's going to take him down a lot. He has a really good back take. I don't see why the submission prop shouldn't be tighter, and I was honestly pretty surprised that it was plus 210, maybe because Figgy's a black belt. He is hard to submit generally, but I just think this is a really good matchup for Umar. And like JB said, Umar does need to kind of show something. He can't just keep winning decisions. It's not going to work forever, especially when bantamweight is such a changing picture. And now you have Peter Yan in there. You still have Merab in the wings. You have Peyton Talbot also coming up with that big win over Cejudo. So it's he needs to come out here and do something, and I think he's going to. Figgy's 38 years old. He's an absolute legend, but he is on a clear decline. He's a lot slower, very plotty. The Montel performance was great. I was able to cash there, but that couldn't be more of a different matchup. Umar is not Montel. Umar's going to try a lot harder, and I think Umar's going to submit him. How about you, Tyler?
So that Montel Figgy fight actually at the end of last year, I think is why I am so bitter about my underdog problems here, because that was the fight that I let the noise talk me out of Figgy, because I picked too
Never
many.
listen to the noise.
Dude, everybody was nagging me because I picked so many underdogs, and like, oh, you always pick all these big underdogs. You got to pick who you think's going to win, all this stuff. And I'm like, well, I think they're going to win. That's why I pick them. Okay, except for the time I picked Pena over Harrison. That was bad. But
you were kind of confident too.
Other than that one, that was just a bad read. Other than that one,
it happens.
I've picked some good underdogs last year, but that was towards the end of the year, and I let that one get to me, and I talked myself out of Figgy, and I was so pissed because I was watching that one while we were on vacation. I was in Boston, I believe, at the time, and I was watching that from a room at a hostel, and I was so pissed. Anyway, but so I think, even though Figgy won that fight, he barely won that fight. And Umar is, like, I know MMA math doesn't really work, but Umar is like so much better than Montel Jackson in every facet of MMA, that other than just having big hands, I guess. But like, other than that, like, Umar's better everywhere. And I don't think it's going to be close. I think the one thing that Umar is going to have in this fight that's going to cause a lot of problems for Figueiredo on the feet is that lead leg question mark kick he throws. Because Figgy stands with his hands low and tries to snipe people with power shots. And if he starts touching that leg with that lead leg kick like he does, Umar, that is, Figgy's going to grab at it at some point. And that's when Umar's going to bring it up to the face with that question mark.
You going to knock him out?
I don't know if he's going to knock him out, but he's going to hurt him. Club and sub could be a knockout.
I might have to avoid the sub then, now that you're saying that, bro.
But that question mark kick is there on a guy like Figgy, and Umar's damn good at it. And he throws it off his front leg, which makes it so hard to get it because you can't see it until it's too late.
Like Patty, bro.
Yeah, dude. So Umar question mark kick is happening. It's going to land at some point. So Umar's winning this thing.
Only thing I'll say, if you do like what Tyler's saying and you want to go Umar ITD rather than sub, just play fight inside the distance, because it's like a 5-cent difference. And
oh yeah, might as well.
Like, Figgy's not going to finish him, but like, it's MMA. Like, what if Umar breaks his ankle or something? Like, it's just not worth it. So just do that.
Has a heart attack or something.
Was that all of us?
Oh, speaking of breaks ankles and has heart attacks and stuff, the Deadpool that I was, you didn't know. Okay.
Oh, okay.
There's an old Clint Eastwood movie of kind of about it too, but like a Deadpool, basically what it is everybody like, you'll see like some radio stations do it. It's crazy, where you basically like place bets and you pick who you think's going to die within a calendar year. Like a lot of times it's like celebrities or public figures or whatever. And you're like, oh, I think so-and-so is going to die.
People do this for fun?
Yeah. People do this all the time. It's like a real thing. So I was thinking we'd do it, but with retirements, because I don't want to see a bunch of MMA fighters die. That'd be really sad. But like, I was thinking about setting it up for a UFC Deadpool, but like, it's basically just like who's retiring. And I'm thinking about starting it on the February 1st. I don't really have all the stuff worked out for, what's going to be, but I did bingo last year and that was fun. John Newquist won it. So I sent him his prize and all that stuff. He got himself a bingo. But like, I think a Deadpool would be really fun, but for retirements, obviously, but it's under it's the same style as like a Deadpool. So if anybody's interested in that, message me on Twitter or X or whatever, but that's what I was getting at. It's basically like places actually do it. There's actually a local radio station here in Omaha that like you can, on their website, like you sign up for their Deadpool thing and you like win a prize if you pick the most correct like public figures to die within the year. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Glenn, I think, is trying to tell you that maybe Poly Market would have retirements, but I don't think so.
That would be funny.
That would be pretty wild if they did.
Yeah.
I don't know if Poly Market works like Kalshi, but they would need a market maker for that and everything, and I don't know if they're going to do
that. Dude, I got to get on this Poly Market because I was talking about on Johnny's stream yesterday. Like, they got crazy odds on stuff, like, all the time. Like, for MMA fights, they'll be out, like, they had props out for this card, like, weeks ago.
It's just tricky because like I don't know how fightodds.io like they can possibly actually track Poly Market, because it's like it's just not how it works. Like, it's not like a book, like people will list what they want to. It's like kind of like a stock. They'll list at what they want to sell or buy it at, and it's very tricky. I don't know how it is for MMA, but for me, I can only use Kalshi. I can't use Poly Market here. We don't have it, but I'll start randomly just betting on the most random thing ever of this dude's gonna say this or not say this, and I'm like, okay, no, I can't do this anymore. So I try to stay off for the most part.
Dude, 100%. Like, I listen to this podcast called The Boys Cast all the time, and this guy Danny on there always has these crazy like things on Poly Market that he'll just be betting on so and so is going to win like the mayoral election in some random town or something, and you're like, what's going on, dude? So I don't know. I want to get on the Poly Market, that's for sure. But yeah, the Deadpool could be hosted on Poly Market if we can figure this out. But otherwise, we'll probably just do like a little thing. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll get something figured out before the February 1st. So anybody that wants to do it, limited spots available because I don't want to track up 100 people or anything. So message me soon.
All right. Moving on, we've got Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. I'm starting us off for this one. I love me some Gene Silva, one of my favorite active UFC fighters. He lost to Diego Lopez. It is what it is. He got way too cocky, I think. That's my personal opinion. He just got way too cocky. All the fighting nerds did. They really, really, really needed that. They all needed to lose. And I think they're all going to come back better. We were already seeing it with Pratesh. He got that loss against Ian Gary, and now he's right back to almost in the title picture. So I think we're going to see similar things from a lot of them. I think we're going to see similar things from Gene Silva. I think he's going to learn from it. And he looked great in that second round before he rushed in and got caught. He looked really good. And Diego is a very explosive guy. That kind of stuff happens. When I first kind of looked at the line, I was like, should Allen be plus 200? And it's like, I can understand the argument for him. You know, it's going to be a striking affair. Gene Silva sometimes spends more time emoting than he does actually fighting. And Arnold Allen is a really good striker, probably one of the better strikers that Gene Silva's fought, if not the best one. But I really don't like Arnold Allen's style. I never did. I don't believe that I've ever bet on him. I just don't like that kind of style. He's very, very defensive. That's great. But, excuse me, he's not throwing a lot of volume. He's not separating in a lot of these fights. Sometimes he'll mix in the takedowns to kind of secure those rounds, but I don't think that he's going to be taking down Gene. I just don't think he's that good of a wrestler. I think Gene Silva's takedown defense is pretty good, and he's very explosive, and he can get back up if he does get taken down. It's not like Allen has a prolific ground game to keep him there, you know, threaten subs, throw ground and pound. I'm not seeing that from Allen. From Allen, what I see is a guy who's relatively flat-footed, does have some good movement here and there, keeps his hands high, does a good job at defending himself, good kicks, solid punches. But I think Gene Silva, he's just going to be the moment winner. I think that's what's going to matter here. So I think Silva's going to land the bigger strikes. He's going to land just about as often, if not more. And he has more tools. He's got more weapons. He's got more hardware. He's got more power. And I do kind of think he might finish Allen. I've been really torn between, I was thinking maybe playing fight goes, because I do consider Allen relatively durable, and Gene Silva, I don't think he's getting knocked out by Arnold Allen, and I don't think they're going to submit each other, probably. But at the same time, like, has Arnold Allen faced a hard hitter like Gene Silva yet? He hasn't. He hasn't. So I can't really play it when I don't know how he's going to react to shots that Gene Silva is throwing. So for me, if I do anything, it'll maybe be like a round 3 Gene Silva prop, just small, just to have something. If he's able to kind of beat up on Allen, get his momentum going and get a finish. But overall, I'm going to stay uninvested in this fight just because I think the line's about right. Maybe a little bit wide, but not enough that I want to get involved on Allen. I just don't like betting on him. How about you, Tyler?
This is another one that I'm going to have everybody hate me on.
I saw it coming. I saw your face from the beginning. Not even when you started rolling the eyes. You started rolling the eyes. I knew it was a lock.
This and this and this.
I knew it was a lock.
I didn't even know.
I gotta take Allen. Man, I don't know. He's good. Like, Allen's really, really good, and people count him out in every fight. And he almost always gets to be an underdog. And like, I've cashed on him as an underdog in quite a few fights. I've also lost on him as an underdog against guys like Ivlev and stuff like that. But like, that was a darn competitive fight. I think I backed Allen in pretty much every one of his UFC fights except for the Holloway fight. That was the only one I didn't back him. Pretty sure. So, you know, he's done pretty well for me. I've lost one other time. I've lost one time on Allen. That was against Evliev. I think Arnold Allen's good. I think he can do it. I think he's very position over submission on the ground. I think he could take him down and lay and pray him enough to frustrate Silva. And then Silva gets up and starts doing some wild boy stuff and ends up just not landing these shots because he gets upset and frustrated because the dude is kind of a head case.
But when does he not land? He's pretty damn accurate, no?
For sure. But is he going to still be accurate after he gets really frustrated after being like laid on for, say, a whole round and just like, and not like held down and damage landed like Lopez was doing, just like laid and prayed? Because Allen's very position over submission.
I mean, Lopez beat the living daylights out of him on the ground, and he got right back up and beat the crap out of Lopez.
That's exactly what I'm saying. He beat him up. You're missing that point. He hit him. If Allen takes him down and doesn't do damage and frustrates him because he's mad that they're not fighting. This guy wants to get in there and fight, and he wants to hit like.
So your argument? Wait. Let me understand this. Your argument is that Gene Silva was more capable of getting back into the fight against Lopez because he got the shit beaten out of him than he will be against Allen because Allen will not be kicking the shit out of him.
No, the wording there makes it wrong. So guys get mentally frustrated when they're held up against the cage. You see it all the time. They start doing these and then mentally they're screwed the rest of the fight. A lot of times they don't fight well after that because they're just getting stuck.
Well, a lot of the times you don't fight well when you're getting elbowed either,
It's true, but that keeps your mind from just thinking about like, I'm stuck against the cage. I'm stuck on the mat because you're thinking about, oh shoot, I'm dying.
Dude, I feel like that doesn't make sense. You're saying. I don't get it.
What he's saying, Loki.
Did you see what Diego did to him on the ground?
He hurt him. Yeah.
He hurt him.
I get what he's saying. It's like two different.
And then he beat him. Yeah, he won, knocked him out.
But what I'm saying is that didn't at all deter Gene Silva. He just went right for it, right again.
Yeah, that's my point. Because he didn't have time to sit there and think about how frustrating it is to be held down and not have anything you can do. He
did get held down, but he just also got the shit beaten out of him. The only difference is that Allen would hold, based on what you're saying, is that Allen would hold him down but not do the damage. So that would piss off Silva because he has time to think about it.
Not piss him off. It's frustrating because when you're held down and you can't do anything, and then you sit there and think about it. You can't think about it when you're getting hit in the head because your only thought is, I need to preserve myself and I need to like get back up.
But he couldn't do anything about it. He was getting destroyed on the ground.
Right, but he was actively attempting to stop the strikes coming down. If you're getting
why I like doing the show with you, Tyler.
I don't think you're getting my point. I don't think you're getting what I'm saying. Because
I am getting it. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No, you're not, because you're still saying that like he's having time to sit there and think about like, oh shoot, I need to get back up, but I'm struggling to get back up. He's not. You can't think about that while you're getting your face pummeled in. You can think about that when you're getting held against the cage and you can't do anything except for this little like slappy crap. What I think he's going to do is really frustrate Silva and get him to make some stupid decisions. That's my thought. I don't know.
420 MMA. I love it.
But I don't know. I'll probably get this one wrong as well because it's.
Do you really think he's going to consolidate top time though?
I think he definitely can. I think he's a better topside grappler.
Didn't he get grappled by Jordan 135er a little bit in his fight?
Okay, yeah, he got taken down a few times, but he was able to get back up.
Few things there for me. Like A, he popped right back up. B, I think he just was not expecting it because Jordan doesn't normally wrestle. And C, like I've been hearing this all week, like 135er Jordan was able to take him down. Jordan was a 145er, and literally nobody was expecting him to move down, and nobody looked at him and said, "You're a bantamweight." He just wasn't having a great time at 45, got hit by Gene Silva and said, I think I'm going to go move down a little bit. Only thing I'll say. But, JB, I don't even think you got to go yet. What do you think?
No, it's okay. I love it, bro. I'm sitting here entertaining myself. I haven't ate shit all day, so my bad for eating on the podcast.
You're good, bro.
Dude, Allen Ninja Choke odds, JB? Allen Ninja Choke? Didn't Gene Silva just get a Ninja Choke? Didn't Gene Silva just get a Ninja Choke not too long ago? I don't know. The Ninja Chokes, they're usually always like 100-1. So I don't know. At that point, I'm not sure. I think Gene Silva's probably going to win this fight. I think he's going to put the pressure on Allen. I think he's going to stuff the shots of Allen, maybe threaten those Ninja Chokes. I don't know if he'll get the Ninja Choke, but I could see him finishing the sub if he hurts Arnold Allen on the feet. Arnold Allen's put himself in submissions before, bro. I've seen it. Put himself in a guillotine. He got out, but against Sadiq Youssef. Put himself in a couple choke attempts versus Makwan Amirkhani.
Makwan puts a lot of people in choke attempts, though.
Definitely early in the fight. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I think he's gotten better. I think he's going to come out with a smart game plan for us. He is my favorite coach. So let's just get that straight. Firas Zahabi is my favorite coach in MMA. I'm not saying he's the best in the world. I just like his thought process. I like the way the guy. I think he's a very smart mixed martial arts coach, and I think he will come in with a solid game plan. I don't know if it's going to matter though, because on the feet, Arnold Allen 40% striking accuracy over his sample size of fight. That's abysmal. Like I said, maybe he's just throwing feelers out there, but if you're missing those shots in the octagon, that means you're open to getting hit. And against a guy like Gene Silva, I don't care about the 60% defense because I watched this guy get hurt in his fights before by guys who aren't strikers. Gene Silva is going to hurt this guy on the feet, brother. I think he's going to redeem himself. I didn't bet the money line. I think there's props on this fight that I'm willing to take. You know, everyone's saying he can't get the sub, but like I said, I think there's ways you could play this fight. So I took a stab on some props. And yeah, I think the ninja choke's live, bro, for Gene Silva. Not to say Allen couldn't get some grappling success going, but more often than not, I think at the big plus money. What's that at now? Because my man Glenn is going crazy. He said, because he originally said Umar KO plus 550. Man, I don't know what book you got, Glenn bought, because the Allen sub plus 1800. You got to look a little bit out there because I'm seeing Umar KO plus 800. I'm seeing I'm seeing Arnold Allen sub plus 2,500. Am I tripping? Yeah, no, plus 2,500. I'll tell you what I took. I took the ends by sub on FanDuel at plus 1,000.
That's good.
It's my only bet so far. I sprinkled a quarter unit on it. You guys watched an hour and 16 minutes of this. I think I'll give it away. Look, I'm getting all the Gene Silva equity in the world for that ninja choke, which I think is the most likely outcome. And worst case scenario, he does consolidate position, like 138 said. I don't think it's impossible. You know, you train with Faraz Sahabi for all this time. But I just see Gene hurting him at some point in this fight. And yeah, he probably KO him. But I can see Allen shooting because Allen's been durable before. He never been KO'd. I just don't see why the ninja choke's not live again for Gene Silva, bro. I think he's sick with it. And he's training with Adolfo Vieira, training with Fabricio Andre, training with all these guys. And he showed it 2 fights ago. You're giving me big plus money on this. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it.
This is Glenbot, right?
Yeah.
This is bad to know that Ireland has bad prop odds. I'm going to be in Ireland in April for my brother's bachelor party. And it would have been nice to have good odds, but
no chance.
Sad to know. But all right, moving on. We've got Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. I think it's your turn, Tyler. What do you got here?
Oh, shoot. Okay.
And I need you to host for a second. I got to run to the restroom.
Wait, you're on yourself, bro?
Yeah, dude, that's me. I'm on Rose. I got Rose winning this fight, and I know nobody else in the world does. So there you go. Because everybody has just been telling me how dumb that is in my comments. I've been reading it like the last few days. I think Rose can do it. I think she's one of the best fighters in, both divisions, strawweight and flyweight. Darn good, right? And I think she can win this fight. I think she's competitive in the striking, and I do think she's the better grappler. It's a fight where like you're giving me Rose at like plus 350 or thereabouts. Like I don't know, man. Like it's too wide, and I think Rose can get it done. I think she can also lose, but I don't think she's going to lose in a way that I don't think she's going to get run through here. And I think that's a good value bet I'm willing to try. I think Rose can do it. I think she can get it done. But JB, what do you think?
How do you think she deals with the footwork, with the in and out movement? Like,
I think
just the footworks. Like, yeah. Go ahead. My bad.
She could. She's got good footwork herself. Rose does. But I think she's going to try to like time the kicks, and I think she's going to try to crash the pocket on the kicks. Because when somebody throws a kick, they're obviously on one foot. And when somebody throws a kick, what you should do, traditional martial arts speaking, like, is step in, right? So if every time Silva's throwing kicks, Rose is coming over the top of the kicks with a punch, it might get her to stop throwing the kicks, or she starts throwing over the top of the punch. It's not working to stop that. And eventually she then takes that kick and uses it for takedowns. Because I think if she gets the takedown, Rose is going to have an advantage on the ground. So, but yeah, I think to stop the footwork, she needs to time the kicks, I think is her best bet. Because I think Rose has better hands than Natalia Silva. The kicking game for Silva is where she gets it done.
Sure,
Yeah.
and she's very in and out. I think she could compete in the hands with Rose too, especially if she starts to worry about the kicks. Then you got to crash the pocket, and she's good at like in the big cage. I feel like she's really good at not getting pinned up against the cage. She can be pressed there though sometimes. Like we've seen
seen it
people have.
before.
Yep, Vivi, even
Mhm.
Jazz, like she was able to back her up against the cage. It didn't go well for her, but I
Blade
don't
up
think
even.
that's. Yep. Yeah, big facts. So I could see it. Look, the thing is, I see the kicks working. I see her being able to get out of the way. I see her touching her with the kicks really bad to the body up top. I think Rose just at this point in her career a little too lethargic. I think she's going to let the fight start for her. I think she could have success. Like I was thinking about the -3.5. I know we were talking about this a little earlier in the week, Couch. I just don't trust the judges, and I do think Rose could have some success. So I haven't bet the money line on Silva. I pick her to win the fight, bro. I think overall better prospect. And I watched her live before, so maybe that's some of my bias coming in. And she fucking looked good in that fight. That was Jasmine. Fucking killed her. So that could
Oh,
be
I think
part
I
of
was
it
there
too.
for that one too. Yeah, I
In
was there for
Austin?
that one.
Oh, we didn't even know each other yet, bro. We could have
We
met
didn't.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll figure it out, bro. We're gonna get it this year. Mark my words.
let's go, bro. But yeah, so for me, this is one of the probably the only prospect I've ever correctly called, like from their debut, because my other ones were like Modestus, and I've had other really bad ones. Amir Albazi was a dark horse for me. I've had bad calls, but Natalia Silva was a good call, and I stand by it. I think she's elite. I think she's really, really good. I think we haven't seen talent like this in a while. I think that she beat Shevchenko. I think the only competitive fight for her, realistically for me at least, is Manon. I think her versus Manon is a sick fight, and I really hope we see it. But for me personally, it's like, okay, you guys were kind of talking about like the grappling, right? Like her being held down. Vivi, very, very strong 125er. Jasmine, massive. Rose is a former strawweight. She's not super physical, and that's never been a thing for her. She's never been super physical, but I really struggle to see her like being able to keep Natalia Silva in the clinch here. I really struggle for her to see her actually taking her down multiple times and keeping her there. I just don't see it. And as talented as I think Rose is, she's got a terrible coach. She's got really a terrible corner who just spews nonsense and has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. If you need to understand why, go watch Rose versus Esparza, the recent one, and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. And I think that's why Rose's career has gone off of a cliff. She's still getting wins against people who aren't the greatest. She's still in the rankings because she's extremely talented. But I think Natalia Silva right now, she's got all the skills to beat her. And honestly, I can see Silva taking Rose down. I don't see why that's not an option either. Silva can wrestle. So for me, I think just between the fact that I think she's a lot faster, I like her striking more right now in their stages of the career. I think her movement is a lot better. I think it's going to be really hard for Rose to find her. And I don't see Rose having takedown success. So I do think Silva gets it done. Am I going to lay -400? Absolutely not. Am I going to laugh at anybody for betting Rose at +3 whatever when she is a former champion and an elite fighter? No, I won't. But I just think that Silva's going to win. I think she's the truth.
Yeah, you came in a little. I just want to clarify. I don't think Rose is going to have takedown success here. When, I said it's happened in some of the fights. Like you said, though, and I thought those were great points. She's smaller than Jasmine. I don't think she's as good of a wrestler as Jasmine personally. So,
Her
Definitely not.
I think
timing on her takedowns is probably better, but her
yeah. But then it's like so hard to. How do you grab somebody like that? How do you corral them when they're always throwing feints at you? Like you have to think so much. They're switching legs. You don't know what leg to grab. It's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but yeah. Tough matchup, bro. I'm with Couch on this one. The Silvas, both Silvas, Gene Silva, and my girl Natalia Silva. I think
I'm more confident in the female Silva, but I do think they both win.
There you go. You guys play the Silva parlay. I'll play the Johnson & Johnson parlay.
There's only one parlay I'm considering, and it's certainly not a name parlay.
There you go.
All right, let's move on. Next up, we've got Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. I think it's your turn, JB. What you got?
Yo, so I keep bro, this week, Jairzinho Rosenstrike. You guys know Jairzinho, right?
Yeah, he got arrested for beating up his neighbor, I think.
Right. So I keep seeing these fucking posts, pardon my language, but I keep seeing these dang posts that say arrested and Jairzinho Rosenstrike. And I keep seeing that, and I keep thinking that Derek Lewis got arrested because he'd been arrested before. So I'm like, oh my, every time I see it, it's giving me a mini heart attack, bro. Because I'm like, the Derek Lewis fight got canceled. He got arrested. Nah, I'm just playing. I think my boy Derek Lewis is going to come out, do what he always tries to do, which is knock his opponent out. Is he going to be able to get that done against Wilder, though? Oh, 5 units? 5 units, Mikey?
Nah, Dravi's wrong. It was a typo. It's 50 units. Half the
50.
bankroll.
Damn, your balls must be really hot, dog.
Mad hot, bro. Mad hot.
Trump's favorite fighter, bro. That's what they say. Nah, I'm just playing. I love Derek Lewis, bro. Like, I was there for that Tai Tuivasa fight. I've seen a couple of his fights in real life just because he's a legend of the community, but he never wins when he comes here. So I give Derek Lewis a chance. This is a straight vibes pick. Straight vibes right here, Tyler.
Vibes, man. You got
Derek Lewis is not fighting in Texas. You bet on him as an underdog. If Derek Lewis is not fighting in the state of Texas, you take this man as an underdog. He always has a chance. That's where I'm going to leave it at. That's it, bro. My man Dravi in the building. What's good, bro? My balls are hot.
Dravi, you missed the best explanation for somebody buying a new setup that I've ever heard.
Yo,
It was crazy.
Usually people say like, yeah, I wanted to get serious, so I upgraded the equipment. No, he got attacked by a falcon.
A hawk.
A hawk. You would know the difference, Tyler.
Hey, yeah.
I mean, they're different birds, right? I don't know.
He pulled up the way he pulled up on me and just said, I said, oh my God, as soon as that happened, I got to get a mic. And then I hit that parlay. Once I hit the parlay, we were home to the races. That was it. No more Hawks. No more Hawks in the building.
But all right. You gave your breakdown for this one, right?
Yeah, and I was just fucking around. Like, dude, honestly, I think Waldo has a chance. Like, he probably should be the favorite. Like, minus 150, though. Just, like, I think he wins it 6 out of 10 times. Career trajectory. Derek Lewis kind of, injuries, old. But I think Derek Lewis always has a chance to win the fight just with that power.
Yeah, this one's tricky for me, honestly. Waldo's been, like, very hit or miss for me. I bet against him with Spivak, lost that. I bet on Pavlovich, so I got that one right. I bet him against Ante Delia, and boy, was that a roller coaster because I was watching on my phone. We were at a friend's house, and I just see him get finished. So I'm like, okay, lost the bet. Started typing up the message to my Discord, like, hey, guys, we lost this one. And then they restart the fight. He gets a finish, and I was like, okay, I'll take it. And then against Gaziev, I was very confident on Gaziev, and he knocked him out. So I haven't had the best read on Waldo, but I think I have a pretty good read on this fight. I don't know how you make Derek Lewis plus 250, plus 260 against a striker. I don't care who they are unless they're Cyril Gane. I specify Cyril Gane because he has elite range management and he can just stay away where Derek can't reach him. And that's not the case here. That's not. Waldo's a straight up boxer. He likes to get up there, get close in boxing range in the pocket and trade. He's got a very good jab. He can try to use that to keep Derek away to an extent. And he started to mix in leg kicks, and we know that Derek does not handle those very well. But at the end of the day, it's a guy who does not really wrestle. Yes, he wrestled against Rebellis, but Rebellis turns out has absolutely no takedown defense whatsoever. And Derek Lewis, like his takedown defense isn't great, but he does have an incredible ability to just decide to stand back up and do it. And I don't see Waldo stopping him of all people. So it's like, okay, Waldo doesn't have the grappling to go to. Waldo doesn't have the range management. Is he the cleaner striker? Yes. Is he a better boxer? Yes. Is he much younger? Yes. Has he absorbed way less damage? Yes. But he still has to stand there and trade with Derek Lewis. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. He has to stand there for up to 15 minutes and take whatever shots Derek is throwing. I hate betting on Derek. I hate it. He's a low output counter striker. I hate betting on guys like that with no grappling upside whatsoever. I don't know if I've ever bet on Derek Lewis, maybe once or twice, but I normally never do. I haven't yet on this one because I do think Waldo's going to get it done. Like, I think he's just going to jab him up. I think he's going to end up winning a decision. Maybe he puts him away late, but it's like part of me is telling me, like, dude, like the last time something like this happened, it was the Rogerio de Lima fight and you passed, and you should probably at least throw a half unit on it. So I might do that. I don't know yet. I was also looking at Lewis round 1 KO. It's like plus 700, which seems a little bit silly to me, but then it's like I was talking to our guy Dravi over there, and he was like, "Yeah, but Lewis can knock out anybody at any point," and he's right about that. So that kind of made me not interested in that. So we'll see. I'm probably going to pass, but I am considering a Lewis play. I think he probably loses. He probably should lose, but it's Derek Lewis against not only just a striker, a boxer, which to me is probably about as winnable of a fight as you can give Derek Lewis. So that's where I'm at. How about you, Tyler?
You think he can win a decision, though?
Derek?
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, if this plays out like the Francis fight, he could. If they're both too scared of each other.
Yeah. Maybe just take them. I think
We've seen Waldo play stupid like that before, like the Arlovsky fight. Like, what on earth was he doing there? If he pulls up and does that with Derek, anybody's game who wins that decision.
There's an argument Arlovsky won that fight. So
I don't disagree.
With that said,
I feel like
Derek Lewis is about to win this thing.
Are you picking him?
Yeah, outright. Yeah, like I said, I'm on way too many underdogs. So here's another 3 in a row, massive underdogs. Like the smallest underdog of the 3 was Arnold Allen, which is crazy. So yeah, I got Allen, Namajunas, and now Derek Lewis all just in a row. So I will deserve the criticism, assuming all the favorites win on this card. But
depending how you take it, you only got to win one of those.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're big time winnings, right? So. But also Derek Lewis, I got half my stake on his money line and half of it on KO because Cloudbet had his KO prop plus 406, and I was like,
"What?
Yeah,
that's crazy."
I saw it this morning. So plus 406 on the KO prop for Derek.
Was that an offshore?
Yeah, they're a crypto only. Like you have to. I can't say on stream how to access it from here. I'll tell you later.
You'll tell me later.
But because I could get in trouble for saying that, I guess. So anyway, because they're my sponsor. But yeah, so I think Derek Lewis is going to knock him out. And if he doesn't knock him out, what I think I'm going to do is hope that he decides to say, you know what? Waldo also isn't a very good wrestler. And Derek is just athletic enough to just decide that he's going to throw him on the ground and just.
He's done it.
He's done it. Exactly. I mean, Derek Lewis can realistically win a decision here.
But Derek's convinced this is ending in the first exchange. If you listen to him,
it probably is. But at the same time, too, like, and then you look at like Waldo's wins, right? And you're like, man, he's beaten a lot of guys, and you're like, he hasn't beaten a lot of really good ones though. Like the best one's probably Spivak, and like,
I think Shamil is a good win, especially the circumstances. Like that was a tough fight, and he came out there and he didn't make it seem like a tough fight,
right? But like outside of that, I don't know, like. Derek Lewis has the way better wins on his resume. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah, so, it's just the problem is it's never because Derek is actually winning minutes and it's because Derek just catches them. And
he doesn't need to. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't need to. He's always
also,
liable.
Go ahead, shout out real quick before I forget. Kiwi Brew's kids for making that rose thumbnail for me was like the craziest, most awesome. Did you guys remember
that? Was a joke. That was his kids made it for you?
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. Like that was one of the greatest things ever. So shout out to Kiwi Brew and his family for being rock stars.
Whatever happened to Daz? Where'd Daz go?
He's still around. I saw him. He was in the chat yesterday on Johnny's stream. So
what's the read, biker boy?
But yeah, I think Lewis is going to put him out.
Like I get the argument for Waldo. I think it's a pretty clear argument. Derek doesn't throw a lot, and if Waldo can just stay safe, pop the jab, and rip leg kicks, he'll be fine.
Yeah,
but it's like I don't know. I can't explain it. It's my gut. My gut is telling me Derek is just going to come out there and just hit him and knock him out.
Certainly could. I mean, Derek could also just crumble and just like fall over. It's totally possible either way, but. Derek's giving me a lot better payout, so we'll take Derek.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the one you're gonna fucking cash, bro. That's the one you're gonna cash right there. He's gonna win this fight. He's gonna fight on the White House card. H-Town's very own is knocking out this Where's Waldo mother effer.
Dude, if Derek knocks him out, that KO prop half unit alone gets me over 2 units. So I'll take that.
There we go. But all right, moving on. We've got our co-main event of the evening. I think this one's my turn, and I like Sean. I like Sean by a decent bit. And there's one big thing I want to talk about because it's all that I've been hearing this week is the motivation thing. How motivated is Sean? Blah, 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 blah. And I understand it. It's fair. I'm not going to dismiss it. But I just think it's worth considering that the last time Sean fought, like he lost to Merab the second time. He already lost his title to Merab. Then he lost to him. Then Merab gets another, what was it, win or two after Sean. And it's like a lot of us, most of us felt like this dude is just not going to lose until he retires. And I think that's what Sean was operating under too. And it's like when you think about it that way, it's like, okay, yeah, you're going to start to lose hope and fall out of interest and think about other things. But who's the champ now? Now it's Peter Yan, a guy that Sean has a win over. Did Sean deserve that win? That's a whole nother question. But mentally in his head, Sean, what did you just say to me?
He did deserve that. He did deserve it. Sugar won that fight.
I've been asking for new co-host applications and resumes for so long, and nobody ever hits me up. You guys see this?
Everyone says it's damage over control until the guy that they parlayed up loses because he's diving at legs and hoping to win.
I didn't have a bet on that fight, but that was BS, dude.
Okay, did you watch that fight live, 138?
Yeah. Well, not like in the stadium, but
okay,
like,
but you watched on TV, right? Did
yeah,
you think right after the fight, like O'Malley?
Yeah, Sugar won. I thought he won round 2 and 3.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, bro. And everybody at the bar was like flipping shit, bro. They were pissed, and I was like, maybe I'm tripping.
Especially if you're supposed to say it's damage over control. If you isolate just the striking exchanges in that fight, Sugar outlands him cleanly a ton. Like he clearly wins the striking. And then you look at the grappling exchanges.
And Peter doesn't.
When Peter takes him down, he's not doing much damage. He's not doing any damage really. Most of the time,
I've had enough of this slander.
Butt against the cage, and he's just hugging the legs. And Sugar's got his hands on Peter's upper shoulder.
yo, he left us, bro.
I got him to leave.
I just had to switch upper deckies, but
oh gosh, I'm just saying, Sugar won that fight fair and square. That's my opinion.
Well, back to my point
to
is that I think that O'Malley is motivated because the current champion is a guy that he beat, whether you believe it or not.
Clean.
It's a guy that he beat, and I do think he's going to be mentally there. I think that is going to wake you up. I think that is going to bring back hope. And putting away narrative for a side, then, like, this is a really hard matchup for Song. It really is. And I don't think that Song is a bad fighter. He's a fantastic fighter, and he is hungry. That's true. And he's 28 years old. That's true. He's at a great camp. That's true. And he's very well-rounded. That's true. But he does struggle against rangier guys. We saw that in the Corey Sandhagen fight. And the thing for me at first, when I was watching that fight, I was like, okay, but he is doing a decent job at closing the distance and getting to Corey. And then I realized it was in the Apex. It was in the Apex. And now this is going to be in a big cage. This is a pay-per-view. And O'Malley also has better movement than better footwork than Sandhagen. I'll say that. So I just don't think he's going to have an easy time finding Sean. I think it's going to be really, really hard for him. And at range, like, Sean is just such a good striker. Like, you can't take that from him. You cannot like the guy, but he is a really, really good striker. He's really accurate. He's really fast. He sets up his angles really, really nicely. His combinations are slick. He's very versatile. He's got a lot of weapons. And I just think Song has to fight a really perfect fight here where he's constantly closing the distance, landing takedowns, consolidating control, and just pushing O'Malley. And I think it's going to be very hard. I think he can do it, but I think the line could be wider personally. And like, I hear a lot of talk about two things. I hear a lot of talk about the leg kicks because Song does have good leg kicks, and Sean O'Malley, we all know with the Vera fight, the first one, he does struggle with them. And Pedro Munoz also gave him some problems with leg kicks. My only response to the leg kick thing is this isn't a 5-round fight, and I would be a little bit more worried over 5 rounds where I need his mobility to keep going for 25 minutes rather than 15. And also, like, he took, like, I think the official numbers were like 35 or 45 significant leg kicks were landed by Vera in their rematch, and he was just fine. He was just fine. So I'm not super worried about that. And then the other thing is the takedowns. Everybody's talking about wrestling. Like, I don't think Song's that good of a wrestler. He's fine. He's solid, maybe even pretty good, but he's not amazing. And Sean has shown pretty good takedown defense. And when he is getting taken down, whether it's Peter Yan or Merab, he's getting back up pretty quickly. He does a good job of getting back up, and he does do the right things. And I don't see what Song is going to do to keep him there. I don't see Song landing some kind of super significant ground and pound. I don't see Song submitting him. So again, like, I'm not counting Song out by any means. I think he's a great fighter and he could win, I just think that his path to winning is way tighter than Sean's, whereas Sean has a lot more room for error and I think should get it done. So that's where I'm at. How about you, Tyler?
I'm just thankful I'm finally on a favorite again. Sugar's getting this one done. I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, I keep saying this, and I don't know why I haven't done it yet. I keep saying that like one of these days I'm just gonna start picking every single favorite on the card until somebody notices. I need to start doing that. Like I can't do it for next week. I've already got the video up for channel members, but I need to just start just picking all the favorites because then like if you get it wrong, it's like, well, everybody else also thought that too. So, oh man, it makes it less awful because this is gonna be a sweaty.
But then you know what happens? Because I've had this before where I had cards where not on purpose, but I just picked all favorites. Then they say, "Oh, this guy only ever picks favorites."
Oh,
it's like, dude,
okay.
if you're saying
you're never gonna
me,
win.
You're never gonna win.
You're never gonna win, brother. You just make the content, put it out there. The people that are gonna like it, somebody's always gonna have something to say.
It's true.
I don't sweat it, bro. I could care less what people comment. 99% of my comments are about my eyebrows.
Right. Or you got
I miss the days when people were just making fun of my crooked teeth. Like it sucks. Like when you're like if you have a bad card and you get like you know, like say you go like 6 and 6 on a card and it's like, oh dude, it's the worst. But either way, I think Sugar's getting this one done.
You got the same hair as him, bro.
Yeah, dude. I think he's got all the abilities to knock out a guy like Song, but I do think Song can definitely take a punch. So it probably goes to decision, but it definitely could be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if O'Malley knocks him out, but it's either a KO or a decision. I don't think O'Malley's going out there subbing him, but yeah, O'Malley should be the clean favorite. I was surprised by the line. I thought he should be a bigger favorite.
Really? Wow.
JB's about to drop bars about why O'Malley's going to rear naked choke Song.
Nah, I think there's two keys that I want to bring to this fight. I'll try and keep it quick for the most part, so the pod don't go too long. Not that I'm in a rush or anything, so you guys feel free to take your time.
We're doing okay. I expected about 2 hours, and we still got 20 minutes left. So I think we're good.
So we're good. Okay, bet. I don't even know how many fights are left. I think the first key to this fight, well, we're going to name a few, is that teep kick for O'Malley. How do you stop the pressure of an opponent? You teep them to the body, and Sean O'Malley has a really good teep kick. He hurt Merab badly in their fight, almost knocked him out in the 5th round of their fight with that same shot. So, and you talk about durability, right? Yeah, your chin is durable. You get hit to the liver, brother, and yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Even if it doesn't end the fight, it's gonna slow you down, bro. It's gonna slow you down big time. So I can see that teep for O'Malley being big. How does Song react to that? Does he try to catch it, counter, get O'Malley to plant that leg, maybe start throwing some low kicks of his own? Does he try to catch it, counter with the takedown, put O'Malley on his back? Because O'Malley's got good takedown defense, but I don't know, like in the deeper layers of the jiu-jitsu, how confident I am in him to like continuously get back to his feet. I do feel like he could play a little bit guard. You know, he throws up those triangles, throws up those submissions. She's decent at it, but I just want to see you get up like very quickly, very, very quickly, and not play that game where, you know, Merab is very high-paced grappler, right? A lot more high pace. He'll shoot a lot of takedowns. Not that that style can't be replicated, but not like Merab. I just don't know, like, what is Song Yudong's control like on there? I don't think Merab is the greatest control grappler. He'd take you down, you get back up, put you back down, but he was controlling Sean for points in that second fight. And that brings me to the second point. Is he smoking weed and gooning this camp? Because if he is, oh, dog. It might be Song Yudong season then. It might be Song Yudong season then, because that's a problem for me, bro. When you've been smoking weed and doing everything the way you've been doing it your whole life, and you go on this crazy trip and take it all back and renege, I don't know if I buy that, bro. I think you should have just done what got you to the dance, light the joint, brother. Sean O'Malley, it is okay, bro. That is who you are. You can make changes. You're never going to change completely as a person, right? So, dog, O'Malley, light the fucking joint up, stop being a hoe, and get back to knocking people out like you did back in the day, because that's what we want to see, the Sugar Show, you know, doing what he does best, like the footwork, the feints. How do you even know? And the same thing with Talia Silva. How do you know which leg to grab? Gene Silva, a guy that throws, crazy feints too. O'Malley's an insane at the feints. And that's the thing, right? If you try to overpress the guy, you get caught. You get teeped. You get hit with a right hand, pull counter. You get hit with a knee, Cheeto Vera. I don't know how he took that. That's what happens when you crash the distance too much. So yeah, like that's a problem for me. And Song, in my opinion, he's a good pocket boxer. I don't think he has the weapons though. But he is very durable, and I would like to see O'Malley get one more in the basket before I play him at the chalk price tag. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'm a mark for that. So yeah, I enjoy this fight a lot. Teep kick to the body, O'Malley, and smoke the weed, and you got this one. Easy money in the bag, bro. I think you could even finish, but it's if it goes 15 minutes, like and Song has, it's a weird one, bro. I'm gonna pass. Picking O'Malley for the pick.
I like it. All right, let's move on then to we all went, right? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to our main event. We've got Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Tyler, I think it's your turn.
We got Paddy. Paddy's getting it done, man. Dude, I think Paddy's getting it done. I think he's gonna be the champion, and I think he's going to stay the champion until the end of the year because I think Topuria's situation outside the cage is going to keep him away for the rest of the year, even though he says he's going to be able to come back. I think it's going to take a lot longer than he thinks.
I agree. I think he's out for 26.
And I think they're going to at some point make that the real championship. They're going to be like, look, you can get your first title shot when you come back, but Paddy's got to defend this sucker, and it's the real title now. I think Paddy's getting it done, and I think he's going to be champ at the end of the year even. So, Paddy to Baddy. And don't get me wrong.
They give him Armin?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give that helmet a title shot. You know what I mean?
They don't have at that point, like, okay, let's say Paddy beats Gaethje,
Yep.
clear Topuria's not coming back. They make it undisputed. Paddy's undisputed. If it's not Armin, who? Max?
I feel like they'll give it to
Max
BSD,
Charles.
honestly.
Or no, Max or Charles, I guess.
They could do that, but I think BSD, if he gets an impressive win in his next fight, which is highly likely, it's not like a foregone conclusion because he's got a tough fight ahead of him. Don't want to spoil my picks either, but if BSD wins, like I could definitely see them doing like France versus England because that's been a rivalry since the beginning of France and England, and I could definitely see them putting BSD in there and pushing that. I'm not kidding. Anything to keep it away from the helmet that is known as Armin.
If we get GTA 6 before we get an Armin title shot, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Armin had his title shot and then he just screwed it up.
He got it. It was.
I'm just playing, dude. I know it frustrates you. That's why I'm doing it. No, Armin, he probably should get the title shot, but I just don't think they're gonna do it. I just, for whatever reason, don't think they want to give him a title shot.
They don't. It's ridiculous. He's the best 155er on the fucking planet, and they're not gonna give him a damn title shot. It drives me crazy.
If I was to guess, I feel like they're going to give it to like BSD against Paddy. And they're going to do it like, I don't know, over in England or France or something. For real.
I mean, I could see it.
I can absolutely see it. Because Holloway and Oliveira, neither of them need the title at this point. Like, sure, they could put them in there. But I think they're better off like booking them guys against like other guys that are kind of in that stage that are fighting for the BMFs and stuff like that. I think the move would be to put somebody else in there, and then you got a star no matter what that's going to be around for a while, presumably, BSD and Paddy. So I mean, I think that's what they end up doing, and I think Armin just like sits out. Maybe what they do is they end up, if like say Max beats Oliveira, maybe they're like, oh yeah, Holloway versus Armin, or maybe say Oliveira beats Max, and they're like, well, that was a pretty close fight. I think it went to split decision. Maybe we better book that one for a rematch, and Armin's got to beat one of them guys again. So just saying. But yeah, I think Paddy's beating Gaethje. I think it's a good fight. I think it's a competitive fight until it's not. I think Paddy's going to start to take over. I think he's got all of the ground upside, and I think on the feet it's close enough.
All right. How about you, JB?
I'm going to make like 20 burner accounts and spam your comments, Tyler, if this shit goes all favorites and then Song your dog and Gaethje win.
Dude, it's going to be if that happens, like...
It's just like a greasy split for fucking Song where he shouldn't have even got it done.
Dude, I swear, if I ever just get 0 picks correct on a card, the channel's done. I'm shutting it down. Like,
no. I'm
like
joking.
dead serious. Like if I ever go and don't get a single prediction right on a UFC card, I'm not talking like some like random 2-fight card that you see out there, like, but like if I ever like go 0 and like 15 or 14 or whatever on a UFC card, like the channel's over, guys. We're done. How do you come back from that?
I mean, truth is, you can go 0-14 on picks and still profit.
I mean, you could, but I'm not gonna. I'm more of a money line guy, to be honest. Like, and I over unders I suck at, man. I'm terrible at over unders.
I mean,
The free money
bet
plus
on
money heavyweight overs are gone, so like I can't do it anymore.
Do you only bet on guys who you pick outright?
No. I definitely bet on Figgy against Montel Jackson, and I bet on Michael Johnson against
Michael Jackson. You almost said it.
I did, dude. You got me almost doing it. I did bet on Michael Johnson against Zellhuber, even though I picked Zellhuber. So I every now and then I'll bet against my pick.
You have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, like this is a tricky fight just because I can't really get a good read on Justin Gaethje's ground game. Maybe it's because it's not good and he doesn't have one. But it's like the people who are like really beating him on the ground are like elite on the ground. He's not getting like cooked by anybody who's like not a great grappler. I mean, the whole Fiziev reverse triangle thing, that probably wasn't the best look in the world in terms of grappling ability, but he didn't get submitted.
Did he expect it either?
Yeah, and like he probably didn't expect it. So like I just have a really hard time gauging the ground game of Gaethje, and that's why I'm having a hard time really having a good read on this fight and a confident pick. Because it's relatively binary. I get that Patty's improved on the feet. I don't think it's significant improvement. I don't think we have proof that it's significant improvement. Who has he beaten since the Jared Gordon robbery that has really shown better striking? I mean, God bless Michael Chandler. He just does not win in the UFC, and he's so washed. So it's like I don't think that he can compete with Gaethje in the striking. I really don't. I think if somehow Gaethje keeps on the feet the whole time, he's going to beat the living daylights out of Patty. The problem is I just don't think he's going to. Because like Gaethje has good takedown defense, but you still see him getting taken down off of stupid things, off of kicks, off of trips, off of just getting caught off guard, off balance, whatever. And that's something Patty can do. Like he's not the best wrestler, but he's very opportunistic. And when he does get to the ground, he's really slick. And I do think he's going to give Justin problems. So I got to go with Patty. This is like probably one of the first times I'm really picking him. I think I might have even picked Chandler against him, but gonna pick Patty. I think this is the best time he could have possibly faced Justin Gaethje. I think a couple years ago, Gaethje beats him up, but at this point, 37 years old. Do I think it's been a crazy decline? No, but he's definitely declining a little bit. He's absorbed so much damage over his career. Even though Patty's not as good of a striker, would I be shocked if Patty hurt him on the feet? No. How many times has Justin been hit in the head? Thousands upon thousands at this point. Yeah. So it's hard to get to Justin, even though I can understand the underdog play there. Just for me personally, it's not one that I would target. And if I did play anything, it would be Patty sub. But it's like, I don't know if I want to do that either. I have just a weird feeling in my gut about it.
So who did JB pick?
JB, who'd you pick?
No, I didn't go. I was just listening. I was roasting you about picking with the favorites, and then we just kind of went.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But I'm slowing anyway, so it's all good. I think the one thing I was gonna say, like, I'm picking Patty. I think the grappling is gonna open up. I'm not confident though, Tyler. I was confident earlier in the week. I was like, bro, I think Patty's a good spot. I might even parlay him. And then I looked into it, and I'm like, dog, his wrestling isn't that good. He has defensive liabilities on the feet. His cardio, to me, is still a question. And like, you can't get those. Justin's very explosive, brother, with those big sprawls, Granby rolls. The problem with that is you try to explode to get off of a takedown, and you wind up in a worse position against a guy that could float like Patty. He's very, very, very smart, very methodical with the way he goes about it. And thing with the grappling now, when you have to worry about the grappling, your weapons get taken away in an MMA fight, right? You don't throw those kicks as freely. Maybe a guy like Fiziev is better at catching the kicks, Muay Thai expert, right? But Patty, he catches that fucking kick, low or high. You could throw a low kick and get it caught. Frankie Edgar was good at doing that shit. High kicks too. Pantoja versus Van. As recently as that, that's the weapon that Gaethje used to fucking knock out Poirier. Kicked him in the head, and he tried that against Fiziev too. Fiziev caught it, actually, about to take him down. He does like a big Granby roll You know, Justin's a solid defensive wrestler. Like, you put them on the wrestling mat, and I think Justin kind of has his way with him, bro. But in an MMA fight where it's timing, that's what wrestling is in an MMA fight. GSP never wrestled, you know, as a younger, but he understood that if I could time these guys and beat them there, my wrestling is going to be that much more effective. And I think Gaethje, you know, could even get caught slacking in the clinch, right? You know, he likes that dirty boxing, which could be effective. But now you go up against Patty, you stay in that clinch too long, like Holly Holm did versus Kayla Harris, and you run the risk of winding up in that, you know, judo game, putting on the back, and then that is too big of a risk against a guy like Patty. Even something as simple as, you know, bringing the hands down to defend the takedown. And I think he could get a double leg. It's stupid to say, but the way you do that is to get Gaethje to come in there, brawl, fight the ego. Like I said earlier, you can make changes, but you're never going to change as a person. Gaethje's been a lot more clean, a lot more on that technical form. But if you incite him in that brawl and he's thinking about striking, that's when that takedown opens up. And even if he doesn't get the double leg takedown, if he gets an entry on the legs, that's an initiation to the clinch. Guys that are really good at doing that. Khabib Nurmagomedov, Islam Makhachev. Why is their judo so effective in the cage? Because the lower body threat is such a problem, and you have to worry about that. And
Oh, that'll make a great clip.
Got him.
That one's on the blooper reel for sure.
Oh yeah, that went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah, it did.
And that's the next thing you know, you get an Osoto Garied. Like my man just got Osoto Garied by that, what is that, seltzer water?
There's a White Claw.
There you go.
The claw is the law, brother. It just taught you. So, nah. I didn't bet anything on this fight yet. You know, I think violence, most likely. Gaethje gets the knockout or Patty gets the KO or sub. That's what I'm seeing. Maybe it could be a Gaethje decision, though. That could be a sneaky, sneaky look. I don't think anybody's calling that. It's like, you know, Patty, he hasn't been KO'd. He's been sub, but he hasn't been KO'd. So you could.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been kind of wondering if, like, am I crazy to think like maybe there's value on Fight Goes?
No, it's not crazy at all.
Nah, not at all.
The card you get, the more likely.
And
it
we've
is.
seen if Gaethje might win the fight, and he might not win the fight. You know what I'm saying? Word to my boy Jared Gordon.
That's true.
And the grappling, like, yo, Gaethje might just play like off his back. He might not give up his back. He might make like, yo, I got subbed in a couple fights now where I was just making these bad decisions. And maybe he just, like, you know, chooses to get ground and pounded instead. I don't know. And he like survives. And then the bell rings, right? Like, that's possible. We've seen people do that before. They choose the ground and pound. They try to just hold on. Who was it? Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira. The fight went to decision, bro. I would have thought that fight never goes the distance, right? And then you watch it play out.
But all right, guys, that's UFC 324, just under 2 hours. We got 2 minutes to get out under the 2 hour mark. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Thanks for watching us. I'll pass around the mic. Everybody will say what they got going on, and then we're going to get on out of here because it is late. Tyler, what you got going on this week?
Yeah, so just put out the championship predictions video yesterday with my wife as well as Johnny K Picks. He had to do double duty and pick for his wife as well. Mrs. K Picks was not able to make the stream. We went over our picks from last year as well. I won't spoil who won out of the four of us because you got to watch it. But so we did that. Also, I've got next week's card already up for channel members. It's $2.99 a month if you want to be a channel member over there. That's, you know, it's cheap. But yeah, so if you want to do that, if you don't, that's fine too. And then there's some other interest, like I find interesting videos that I put up for the channel members that the YouTube algorithm probably wouldn't like for my channel as much because it's not like a fight breakdown per se. So it's more MMA related stuff, but not just a fight breakdown. So if I post it, it gets like 100 views or something instead of a couple thousand. And then YouTube's like, oh, this guy's channel fell off, so I can't post them. So I put them for channel members so I can. So if you're interested in MMA and that isn't necessarily just breakdowns, it's a cheap way to do that and, you know, still get some good content. But 138 MMA, you can find me pretty much everywhere at that.
All right. How about you, JB? What you got going on this week?
Yeah, like I got my YouTube channel going on. I'm not gonna, you know, promote anything else. If you guys could follow me on Instagram at MMA Jewish Better, it's all right here. And then the YouTube channel, maybe I'll find a way to put that in the comments. I'll leave a comment on this video for all the people who watch it. You go follow my YouTube channel, Jewish Better. I'm trying to put out some more content this year. We're not going to be getting attacked by hawks mid-sentence, even though that brings vibes to the podcast. You know, shit is crazy enough. So I really enjoyed it, though. Man, thank you for having me on. The last 2 times I came on here, I crushed it. Bro. I think it's part of it, right? Is to talk with the people, and then you start to get your brain a little bit going, because that's how it goes, right? So, yeah, appreciate you guys. Much, much love.
Oh, yeah, bro. And for me, if you guys, for some reason, want to hear more of me, I went live on Tuesday, broke down all these fights. It was a shorter show, 40 minutes, but is what it is. And then YouTube Shorts. I completely forgot about those until about 30 seconds ago while JB was talking. I was like, oh, yeah, I do YouTube Shorts. So I have to drop those tomorrow. I'm going to do that. I'm going to drop a short for every single fight on the card, as I always do. So it'll be, 13, 14 shorts. Those will be up tomorrow, each one of them a minute or less. And I'll try to talk as fast as I can and put as much information as I can into each one. And, yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in. Thanks for rocking with us. Peace out and good luck this weekend.